Welcome to tonight's episode of the Group Therapy Podcast. Today we have returning guest, the Docta and Mikey Sevier. Why do I watch that stupid?
Say it right or pay the price.
That's right. It's like I did an interview a while back and I kept trying to say the movie Scream Dreams. I could not say it the entire episode. It would not come out properly. And I felt like such a douche because I just kept saying, every time it come out, like, Scream Dreams. Scream Dreams. Finally, the last 5 minutes of the episode, I'm talking and I went, Scream Dreams. And I was like, I got it out. I'm finally.
You got chess. Finally.
Again now and say it the right way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doc. You gotta get something taken care of. I'm great, baby. How you doing?
I'm living the something.
Do you want to introduce me and say my name correctly?
Okay. Ready?
I want Doctor to do
Mask maker.
I don't trust you. I don't trust you now, Mr. Dream Screams.
Tonight we have Mikey Sevier.
There we go.
Yeah, that's how you say it. Yeah,
Mikey Sevier. There we go.
I'm just trying to be cute. You know, it's not easy.
Yes.
I gotta wear a lot of makeup to get this cute. You know.
Oh, fucking tell me about it, baby. I got fucking pounds on, and I'm not talking about my ass either.
I'm the only one with no makeup on, and it doesn't matter how much makeup you put on this one. It's not going to look good.
I beg to differ.
Well,
you got to get one of Mikey's masks there.
Then
you don't have to worry about it.
I make a mask of your face, wearing makeup, and then you don't have to worry about it.
Just put it on.
Yeah. You can wear your own face.
Yes, I can cheat. I can wear Skeletor.
Fucking roll with it.
I did. The only problem is this thing has no air holes whatsoever.
I'll give you air holes.
I tried to wear it and because my wife had went to bed and I'm down here and I just got it and I'm like, I'm gonna go upstairs and scare the hell out of my wife. So I put the mask on. I tucked the beard all up in the thing. I put a hoodie on, so I got the hood and the whole 9 yards. I go up the steps, and before I get to the top of the steps, I couldn't breathe because there was no air.
Next thing you know, here is Paul Lee laying at the foot of the stairs with a Skeletor mask on. Pull it back, and he's fucking blue.
That's right.
I had to kill the kid with a gun, right? You remember Student Bodies?
Yes. It was so bad because legitimately the eye holes are only about probably about that big on either side, and they rest above the empty eye sockets. And I'm like, I can't see and I can't breathe. And to be honest, I have a shitload of masks and costumes and stuff floating around here. And the only one that I can wear and not trip over everything is my Sith robes, from Star Wars, because all it is a hood. So
yeah.
my Stormtrooper costume, I have like this much range of vision. My Spider-Man costume is probably less than that. And then when it goes dark, it's dark. You can't see shit. So I'm walking around, took my kid trick-or-treating, and I'm holding on to my wife because I can't see anything. And
you got the wrong kid by the hand, fucking taking him around.
See, that's one thing I don't have to worry about. Vince is way too big for people. he's almost as big as I am. He's 12.
I got a couple masks that you can't really breathe or see in either, but those are for guests.
I have a couple of those too. But
I got it.
Yeah. Yeah, I figured you would, Mikey. That fucking purr.
Yeah, I got a couple of them in a special room upstairs too.
I got that whole basement down there. It's fucking amazing.
See, I really should do that with part of the laundry.
Just put a false wall.
Oh yeah. My goal is that where you come down my steps to come into my area down here, it goes outside. And what I want to do one day is put a false wall in there and put like a shelf so it has like canned goods and shit on it. So people can walk in, they'll just think that's where you can store canned goods and then go upstairs. And then I want to just leave it open. Then you can walk down the hallway because I'm going to put all my movie posters and weird lights and shit.
Nice.
So
little hidden stairway to the dark doom.
I designed one of those Scooby-Doo full-length portraits with the eyes behind it for somebody's. They had a bonus room or a secret room that wasn't on the plans, that wasn't finished yet. So they were gonna, I don't know, put a sex room or something in there.
Oh, that sounds fucking amazing.
I designed like a secret door with the reset, with the hinge on the outside, the whole thing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
See, mine's a big door on the floor in a hidden room. You go down there and there's a bunch of hidden rooms within it, and all the walls are painted black. The house came that way. I didn't even have to fucking try. I didn't have to put up bondage rings or nothing. They're just bolted into the walls
already screwed into the ceiling.
Yeah, I'm not even fucking joking.
Hey, the landlady or whoever said, "You're not one of those creepy people, are you?"
Yeah. Again,
for some reason, this house is always creepy people are always interested in it.
That's exactly what she said. She said, it's weird that you're an artist and you're moving in here by yourself. The last 3 people that have lived here forever, and they were artists that lived by themselves and were into weird shit.
Hey, now
she's all like, yeah.
Into weird shit. You got the weird shit in the basement.
Oh, yeah, fuck yeah.
Great basement.
We had we were buying this one house, and you went down in the basement, huge basement, and it had had been what they call a coal room at the very front of the house. And you go in there, and they had it set up. There was a mattress on the floor.
That's my kind of joint.
Like a Hellraiser 2 mattress?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Just leave a razor next to the bed in a box.
Oh,
good
man.
Shit.
I used to have the Hellraiser laminate configuration, and I used to just leave it setting around my apartment. And when people would come over, they're like, is it the Hellraiser box? I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Or just fidget with it while you're sitting there talking to people.
Yeah. Dude, I played a trick on my lady friend that was here. And I have this round sphere, it's all silver. And fucking, she was all, is one of these puzzles? And I was like, yeah, give it a shot, She sat here on the floor for like fucking 2 hours, fucking trying to press in and all this shit. And she was like, okay, I give up. What's the secret? I was like, the secret is it's just a wooden ball with a bunch of silver crap on it I found at Goodwill. Man, she was so pissed off. But hey, she gave it a shot anyway. I got to give her credit.
Yeah, she went for it. She put effort forward.
Yeah, she did. She's a good girl. I like her.
But you guys, I'm not gonna lie, you guys look like you looked really happy and looked like you were having a lot of fun.
Oh, we were. We got the first public place we walked into the night is, all dressed up and snazzed out. Fucking, we were there I'd say about 15, 20 minutes before we basically got kicked out. They're just like, who's honking the fucking horn? Stop honking the fucking horn. I was like, you need to stop talking like that. You could just ask very politely, and we may still do it, but you could ask nicely. And you don't want to ask nicely, so one thing led to another. Don't fucking tell the doctor what to do.
Nope.
So yeah, it was something to say the least. I had a lot of fun. It was good fun.
Yeah, we got fun. So what's Mikey been up to?
I just finished sculpting a new mask the other day. He's really creepy. He's a tribute mask. It's a tribute to my friend, this guy Daryl, who's kind of a legend in the mask making community. He had a company named VXX Effects back in the day, and he did a lot of really cool kind of like throwback masks. Like kind of retro, like 50s, 60s EC Comics inspired stuff. before it was really hip to do that. He was one of the first people to kind of bring it back around to that. So I did a mask that was inspired by one of his. It's called Monstrosa, and it was actually like his alter ego.
Oh,
So what he did was, which was really cool. He used to have the old Don Post 800 line molds, so he could produce them. Like, you know, after I don't know what the rules are, whatever, but like nobody was making these old masks from the '60s anymore, and he had these molds, so he could pour into them and like pull them and whatever, and paint them up and make them all deluxe for people and whatever. But he did one, and it was miscast, so it had all these like little holes and things. He's like, I can't sell that. So he took pieces from his other masks and basically cut them out of the mask, or like laid the latex in and just pulled it out of the mold, just a little piece, and put like scars and big lips. They look like wax lips on it, and it's a phantom. It's a Phantom of the Opera. And, you know, it's got like rot from all the places where the cast didn't work and everything. And he put a big old shock monster eye on one side. So I just finished that.
yeah, I saw the video.
And then you come up for air and you go outside and, like, you know, your lungs are burning.
Yeah, I seen that. That is a sweet looking mask. See what stuff. Yeah.
I've got two of those Don Post fucking mask. I got a fucking Dracula, and I have a werewolf, and it kind of looks like a owl werewolf dog, but it's fucking amazing. And unfortunately, the Dracula one, I don't know what the fuck happened, but the latex turned like into really fragile plastic. It was so old. And I went to go touch it the other day, and it cracked a hole in it. I was like, God damn it.
When was it from? You know, when the mask was made?
I don't think it was 60s. I think when I looked it up, I can't remember the number of it, but I think it was like 70, early 70s. So it was like 72, something like that. But the latex was real thin.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it hasn't been in the heat or like major temperatures. It just turned solid because I guess, you know, I've had a couple of my latex ones kind of get thicker and thicker over the time, and then they just start to become a little more cracky. And
that is the nature of latex. It does disintegrate with time. And there's ways to slow it down and things to do to conserve it. And that's like part of my job is like, you know, taking care of old masks and making sure that they won't self-destruct over time. But yeah, they're just air, you know, or like stuff in the environment or sunlight, anything like that can make it brittle and it'll just crumble up and disappear.
Well, I have an old mask I'd gotten. I don't know where it was. I want to say it was a Don Post, but I think it was a Don Post ripoff mask, like a Mexican knockoff. It was.
I kind of love the ripoffs too.
It was like it looked like a Bela Lugosi, but it had the inverted fang shit like this. Yeah. It was a thinner latex, and I packed it away. I moved. I left it in the box where I shouldn't have done, and then I went to pull it out, and the thing just kind of fell apart. And it was old. And then I had my Don Post Boba Fett mask helmet from 80, I think. And that thing just started falling apart. That thing just started cracking and everything else. And that's that thick plastic, and it still rotted away.
So some kind of vacuum form, and it still fell apart, huh?
Yep. It just but then I got another one, I don't know, about 5 or 6 years ago, and I was going to keep it, but I had a guy who was like, man, I really want a Don Post Boba Fett mask. And I'm like, I got 3 Boba Fett masks. I guess I could part with one. So I was like, all right, I got one. And it was starting to misshape. So I had to keep a ball inside of it all the time, because if you didn't, it would slowly start shifting to like the right. And so you're sitting there, you walk by and you see the helmet just start doing this after a while. And my other one did it too. It slowly started moving and it started to crack. And that's when when it started to shift, that's why I put a ball in that one too. And then it started to crack from the eyes, the back of it. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, this is so. I gotta say,
your mask up if you want them to stay nice for a long period of time. Yep. It's hard because you need space.
Yep. And
it's like a head.
Yes.
Yeah. My Suave mask, holy shit. that was a experiment with fucking surgical silicone.
Mm-hmm.
And this thing, I have to keep fucking putting this thing back together. You know, Suave puts a fucker on and fucking pulls too hard. The mouth rips all the way up to the ear. It looks great, but goddamn, it's like starts looking like fucking turkey face. You know,
Have any kind of, usually they'll embed like a mesh inside. There's no kind of mesh inside of it.
Yeah, no, fuck. I literally was just experimenting and didn't know I was going to end up using it so much. Yeah. So, you know, and it's not super thick. If I would have made it a little bit thicker and put the mesh in or something mixed in with it, it was experimental, just trying it out. Because I used to work with surgical silicone, and we had a part A, part B, and some, you know, prosthetic colors and shit. So I was like, oh, I'll give it a shot to see how it goes. Ended up using it once or twice, didn't think anything of it. And then here it is fucking a couple years later and the character's still going. So, yeah, it's okay. Yeah. It looks better with age. He looks all fucked up anyway. So,
it's difficult to work with too.
Yeah.
And yeah.
He just rotting away, and you still have. He's still there, still showing up in every episode.
Yeah. Hey, man, it is what it is. I'll make him another one soon enough, but why? You know, just keep gluing and pasting. I mean, and that's the thing with silicone is nothing really adheres to it except for silicone. So, yeah. But
you could probably get some of the same silicone and wipe it out and take like a fabric of some sort and just paint it in there.
Right. I was kind of thinking about doing something like that, but I'm a lazy bastard. So I keep adding a little bit and building it up every time it breaks. So it's kind of leaving like these natural scars because, you know, it's like skin tone. I mix a skin pigment in with it and stuff and add little blues and purples and stuff. And, you know, just keep fixing his ugly face. He's got another face too, but yeah, he doesn't like wearing that one. It's too tight.
You're getting better. And he says, I'm getting better.
Yeah. Yeah, he's all, you know, I like this face you made me, but this fucking silicone one at least fucking lets me breathe. You know, the trials and errors of making masks for the first time and rolling with it. And goddamn, I've learned a lot.
Yeah. I kind of wanted to start doing that stuff this year, messing with masks and stuff like that, making masks and whatnot. And like, do I really need another thing on my plate? And I'm not real good.
Yeah, you got a balance between life and having fun and making stuff.
Oh yeah, and it's like doing this stuff. People are like, man, you're putting a lot of work. It's like, man, this is fun. I love doing this. I love doing my other shows. It's fun. It's a release. I can come down here. I can turn on my music. I can whatever. I can play on the computer. I can edit stuff together. I can hang out with my friends that, you know, the guys that, you know, you guys are too far away to hang out with, you know, like go down the street. So I got to hang out with you guys online. So.
Yeah. No, man, it's always fucking great hanging out with you.
And now I'm, I don't know. I guess I've been medicating because it's Ohio is now a medical state, except for I don't go to school.
Yeah. Well, good for you.
And I'll tell you what.
Now you're just admitting that you're medicated.
Yeah. And it's nice.
That's the big difference.
Yeah. I can say it out loud. I smoke weed.
I don't smoke. Well, I take it back. I usually eat it.
See, look at you. This is going to turn into the fucking sleep, scary sleep. You know, that movie. I mean, no, I don't. Well, I kind of, you know, there's weed.
Yep. Oh man, I'm not gonna lie. I did an interview with one of my buddies out of Columbus, and he goes, "Man, how long are we gonna do it?" I was like, he goes, "About an hour," and I was like, "Yeah, an hour's fine, whatever." So I popped the gummy in, which for me it takes about an hour for it to kick in. So we're talking. We're about an hour, 15 minutes in. And I can feel it coming. And I'm like, all right, let's see how this goes. I keep going. About 15 minutes, I'm really feeling it. We went almost 3 hours, and by the time that episode was over, I'm just sitting there going, "Man, I'm really high." Um, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, I don't want to say anything on the show. So I legitimately watched the show when I edited it because I'm like, what do I have to edit out? What do I got to edit out? What do I got to? And I was played it straight the entire episode. I didn't screw up. I'm like, I was being kind of normal, and I'm like, well, normal for me. And I'm like, man, I can't tell I was high. So
I had somebody record once when I took 10 hits of acid, and it was it was it was interesting because I look back, and for as fucked up as I was, it really didn't look like any different of a night. And I was just like, oh, well, I thought I was more interesting than that. I guess not. I was just really high too.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember we tried to make a movie one night. We thought we were gonna do this great thing and I'll drop acid and make a movie and it would be like really mind blowing and cool. And it was terrible. There's literally nothing. It was like embarrassing and there was nothing worth showing anybody. It's different if you do it and make a record though or a tape. If you record music, that can be good sometimes.
Oh, that's different because then you're in the groove. You know what I mean? I'll tell you right now, I cannot trip on anything until all of my shit is set up ahead of time, or I turn into the guy who's looking at stereo going like, oh shit, that's a knob. Oh fuck, I turned it up. How do I turn it? Oh fuck, I just skipped the song. Oh, I just stopped. Oh, there's numbers happening. What the fuck is it? Next thing you know, you're sitting there for an hour scratching your balls going, what the fuck happened? It's all fucked up.
And then you drop and then you have about 45 minutes to set up and plug in and plus record because after that it's all over. You know, like you're lucky if you're going to be able to flip the tape over, you know?
Yeah, I just take the whole fucking day off and just get ready. And then I drop it and I'm like, okay, now I'm ready. And I hit go and I make sure, hey, never trip and listen to Pandora. I got rid of Pandora because they always come up like an hour in and be like, are you still listening? Fuck you, of course I am, or I would have shut you off. Last thing I need is somebody dicking with me right in the middle of a good time. Are you still listening?
It's like
somebody coming in while you're fucking pulling your dick out and being like, hey, you still having a good time? Yeah, get the fuck out of here.
As I used to say, because Netflix used to do that. I was like, are you still watching? I was like, no, I got my shit together in the last hour and a half of watching this movie.
Yeah, no, I fell asleep. Fuck off. Like, don't ask me. I don't care what their excuse is. Stop asking me if I am or ain't. I'm fucking paying for it, ain't I?
Yeah. So, oh man, the other day I pop on because I'm getting where I can actually find because fucking self-medicating. I can sleep at night now, and used to be I'd get maybe 2-3 hours if I was lucky, and now I get about 6, 7. I'm pretty good now, but I every once in a while I put on the I go to YouTube and put the ambient noise thing or the outdoor rain and shit, and I'm sitting there, I'm nodding off, man. It's just this like space thing going on, so I got the music going, it's showing like planets and stuff, and I'm like, all right, man, okay, I'm fading, and all of a sudden it's like a commercial, and I'm like, what the hell? Why is there a commercial? And I'm like, so I hit skip, and I'm like, all right, that's got to be a fluke. And I'm sitting there and I'm watching it again. The planets are all going by, and I'm mellowing out, starting to get sleepy again. I nod off commercial, and I'm like, it's like, what is Parexatol do for you? What? I don't. What?
God damn it. Yeah, I refuse. I tried doing the YouTube thing too, but you know what? Once they started being like, hey, we're just going to cram all these commercials up your ass unless you pay, I was like, I'm done. Fuck you. Ain't happening.
Yeah. I do. There's a couple of them ambient noise channels that I like now, and I found a couple of them, and they work great. And I had one on last night. Literally, I was just trying to just bring myself down, chill out. I was kind of like wired yesterday. And so I turned that on. It's just the rain and thunder off in the distance. And I'm sitting there reading, and I'm like, all right, man, all right. And it's like, and I'm like, all right, I need to go to bed. And I look over, and it's like 3 hours later. I'm like, the hell happened?
Welcome to eating your medicine.
Yes. Oh man.
Flies.
But yeah, it was one of the ones that just hit me. I was like, all of a sudden, like I thought I nodded off for like 10, 15 minutes at the most. And I look over and it's like, this was like a little bit before 2, and it was a little after 5 when I woke up. And I'm like, oh, I need to actually go into bed because I'm like laying on the couch, some arms all jacked to the side. I can't feel my arm. I'm like, all right, I guess I need to go to bed. And I'm like trying, the dogs are still laying down at my feet. So I'm trying to get up, not step on the dogs, get them upstairs, trying to go, not make a shit ton of noise. And of course, I get up there and I wake my wife up, who gets up in like 2 hours to go to work anyways. I'm like, shit, I'm sorry. She's like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine.
Back in the old days, wives would worry about their husbands, and they were out drinking or doing whatever all night long. And now it's like, honey, where were you all night? It was, oh, I crashed in front of YouTube for 5 hours.
Yeah.
I was on the couch reading, downstairs, fell asleep. I'm old.
I used to get so pissed. I would come home from work. This is back when I was married. Thank God that's not a fucking thing anymore. Come home, sit on the couch, eat some food, kick my feet up, start nodding off a little bit. Hey, are you sleeping? Hey, you should go to bed. Hey, you sleeping? Hey, I was like, God damn it, what do I fucking pay the rent for if I can't just take a fucking nap where I sit? I'll go to bed when I fucking feel like it. Leave me the fuck alone. And this just went on for years. And no matter how many times I was like, shut the fuck up. I'm trying to fucking take a nap. Well, go to bed. Go to bed. I don't want to. I want to sleep right here on my fucking couch. Do what you're doing. Act like I don't exist.
You wanted to watch Skinamax without you.
Yeah, go talk to whatever little boy toy you're playing with on the internet and just let me sleep. Jesus.
My wife, when me and her first got together, when our first apart, for the longest time, she would always want to talk when I came home from work. I'm like, I want to go to bed. Well, I got to get up. I'm like, I just want to go to bed. And she'd just sit there and keep talking. I'd nod off. And she's like, you asleep? No, I'm listening. And then nod off.
Yeah.
Now them days are over. So like,
you ever get to the point where you're really tired and somebody's telling you like something really important, or like maybe they're bitching at you, but they're trying to like get all metaphysical about it, and you're sitting there and you're just like nodding and shit, and they're talking like, yeah, I totally understand. Yeah, I shouldn't do that. That's kind of dig out of. And then it just comes out. You're just like, oh God, shut up. And you're like, oh fuck, that came out of my mouth. Oh, what? I knew you weren't listening. I thought we were getting somewhere. I was like, I thought I was getting to bed, but I guess not. You just keep fucking talking. Jesus Christ. It's like, get to the fucking point already. Fucking, if my eyes are rolling to the back of the head, you are now boring the shit out of me. And I don't care how endearing you're trying to be. It's fucking horrible.
See, that's what I like about the way our house is set up now. I come down here. This is my area. I do with what I want, how I want. Wife goes upstairs. If I want to go upstairs and watch a show with her, I can go upstairs and hang out with her. She wants to come down here and hang out with me. She'd come down here and hang out with me. If we don't want to talk to each other and we don't want to deal with each other's crap, one goes upstairs, one goes downstairs.
Yeah.
No fighting, no fussing.
I've got it real good right now. I just wake up, walk around, no pants on, and fucking nobody says shit. Because nobody's here. It's great.
Yeah.
I could go upstairs, downstairs, downstairs. Just jerk off all over the house. It's great. And, get that me time.
That's you time. Mikey's down there being quiet. Oh, yep.
Mikey's taking medicine.
Trying not to nod off over here. I have sleep apnea, and for a while it was untreated, so I would literally fall asleep standing up.
Oh shit! Wait,
scary. Like at work, I would just.
Fuck me. I would love to see that on film. Did you ever fall over?
I almost killed a lot of people many times from sleep driving.
Holy shit.
Oh, dude, yeah. Oh, I can fucking see that.
It's scary.
Jesus.
And I didn't realize that it was happening because it kind of comes on slowly, and you lose more and more sleep, and you become more and more. And then finally, like I got treated or whatever, and I started sleeping a full 7 to 8 hours again, and I was like a different person. I had been like a zombie for years, just a total, complete, angry, weird, pissy zombie.
Hey, that's me now.
Exactly.
Thanks.
Maybe you should look into. You need a sleep study.
Well, no, I sleep enough. I'm just a weird, angry zombie that literally is almost on the verge of killing someone every day.
Oh shit. I had I have like the worst road rage ever. My wife hates it. My kids hate being in the car with me when I rage. But and then my one son takes exactly after me, so he road rages constantly. Driving, my son, I pick him up because he goes to work with me. I'm like, hey, he's like, where do you want to go get lunch? He's like, oh, I want Wendy's. I'm like, all right, let's go to Wendy's. So we go out to Wendy's. We got this back road, and we're stuck behind these two cars doing 10 to 15 miles an hour under the speed limit. So I'm already fucking angry because you got to go. I'm like, if your car's fucked up, pull over, let people go around you. I'm like, and I know they can hear me. It's like, what the fuck's going on? God damn it! I'm screaming. And then they finally get up, and my son's like, they're going to go around the roundabout. They're going to go around the roundabout, and they're not going to turn left or go right. They're going to go the exact direction we're going. Like, I hope fucking not. God damn. And I'm sitting there just getting angrier. And mind you, this isn't that far. It's just fucking irritating me. So we get up there, and they go, and I'm like, okay, because 2 lanes. So they get over into the right lane. I hook it into the left lane, and I gun it past them. I go the speed limit and go past them like they're sitting still. And the woman proceeds to start yelling at me when I go by. And that pisses me off even more. So I'm like, fucking hit the brakes. I'm like, my arm goes out the window, my finger goes up, like, you stupid bitch. And I'm like, and just a chain of profanity. And I'm like, I got my car when I hit the gas, you can hear it. And I go, oh, and I'm down the road, and I hit the light, and I'm like, they better stay away. And my son's like, they're gonna pull in Wendy's right behind us, they are. And I go, nope.
We're going to McDonald's. Fuck your Wendy's.
We went in Wendy's, man, and they didn't come in there. And by that time, I mellowed back out. I'm talking to my kid, But the best one was I picked up one of my kids' friends, and this lady cuts me off coming out of Kroger's parking lot. And I just let it out. Just, you stupid. And I forget there's a kid sitting in the passenger seat that I'm picking up. And I look over, and he is petrified up against the door like this, just staring at me. And I'm like, it's all right. It'll go away. Just chill the fuck out.
I'm a professional. Hey, just imagine. I used to fucking babysit people's kids. And that was back when I still drank. Holy fuck. These kids, I'd be driving around. I had a 1970 Pontiac Tempest, right? Mm-hmm. It was all matte black. It had gotten 3 major car wrecks. I'd just pound it, weld it back into place, windshield busted. And I had big sticker on the back said, I eat children and fucking honk if you need an abortion. And I got the whole back seat full of a bunch of brats. And I'm fucking driving down the street doing 90 and fucking screaming out the window and shit. I looked back and I was like, who the fuck? Oh, that's right. They were all sideshow performers, kids. They were just like, Mommy and Daddy got to go to the circus. You have fun with Uncle Crazy. I hope you're still alive when we come back. But those kids, I swear to God, they learned every bad word they ever fucking say now fucking from me. I'm proud of that. Kids need to know those good words.
Yes, they do.
Because they're going to need them when they're driving and some asshole's doing 15 miles under the fucking speed limit. You can't look out the window and be like, excuse me, could you please step on the gas? Thank you. No, you chase them all the way to home and you park out in front of the house and you just stare at their fucking front door while they're peeking through the blinds going, why did this guy follow me?
Oh, shit.
Or don't. I mean, it's probably not a good idea. But hey, teach your own.
Yep.
I used to have really bad road rage when I was a teenager and in my early 20s. And I would drive around and have my mom in the car. And we were from New Jersey, you know? So she always thought that everybody was like a gangster.
Right.
Like Sopranos.
You're going to get a shot, dear.
Literally. She'd be like, you don't know who those people are. That could be Nicky Newark. She always called him Nicky Newark.
Yes, Mom.
Shot. And look what happened. Now people are getting shot, not even for road rage, just for like, you know, pulling into the wrong driveway and whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Well,
the whole world's gone mad. And they say I'm crazy.
It's not worth it getting angry. Like I don't get angry or get road rage anymore. I just laugh. You know, when people get mad at me in driving and whatever, and they go past or they honk or whatever, I just laugh at them. Like, ha ha ha, you wave like that. They hate it. Or the last one I did, I took a really long road trip a couple of weeks ago, and somebody bugged me out, and as they drove past, I did this one. Like that. But you don't even look at them. You just kind of go like that, like to the side. Like,
yeah. I always
they love
the
that.
peace sign when they flip me off now.
Yeah.
Flip me off. I'm like, yeah, peace to you too, brother.
We used to go like this. Or my friends used to go when we were in bands and stuff, and we'd drive a big band van, like a Ram van full of instruments and stuff. They would go like this at people out the window. Like that. That was a good one. Because it looks like a serial killer van, you know? You see one of those vans and you think they have a mattress in the back with like a girl and a hammer and like
hey, I had one of those.
My doing the con last week, my friends were making fun of me because my convention van is legitimately an old nursing home van. So it has the big top, it's white, it's still got the where they pulled the stickers off. I ain't done nothing to it yet. And it's even got the ramp. And so you put the wheelchair in, it goes and it lifts up. And,
oh man, I love that.
My buddy's like
forgetting all your shit on though, huh?
Yeah. No,
crap.
Oh, that's great.
I had a ramp on my city bus too. So the whole city bus would drop down and then fucking the floor would come out, drop down, pick people up, fucking, you know. It was great. But I have to say,
when you want to have fat chicks back for a little whoopee in the back seat.
Yeah, and you know, you could put fucking 50 of them in there because, I mean, it's a city bus. It's rated for a bunch of fat people. It was great.
We did this when I got that van. We took the lift. I have a buddy we call Big Tim because he's Big Tim. He's 6'4", 500 plus pounds. And I was like, Tim, come here. He comes walking over. I was like, stand on that platform. I'm gonna see if it'll pick you up. And because it's rated to pick up a good sized person and like a rascal. And I'm like, let's see if it picks you up, man. I hit the button. It's like, the van starts tilting hard. We got him in the van though.
God damn, was that the last time you ever used it?
No, I used it yesterday.
Hey, maybe you loosened it up to make it work better.
Yeah, probably. I mean, and the thing is, I use it to load comics. So I'll put comics on there and then put the comics inside, drop it back down, put more comics on it, fill it up. So
yeah,
all those comics are skinny anyway. Those guys.
Yeah.
Or like you get a Ralphie May or a Louis Anderson, and then you have a problem.
Yeah.
What's funny is now I just leave all my shit in there and go to convention to convention. I don't even empty it. But people will still pull out in front of me. I'm like, that's the last damn thing you want to do. This is a van loaded down with 50 long boxes of comic books. Yeah.
Right. There's nothing heavier.
Yeah.
I had a fucking 1980 SS Victoria Cadillac hearse. And I used to drive this thing around all over the fucking place. And 2 two cool things. One, I went to Home Depot because, it's got the long fucking bed. And I put a bunch of 2x4s, loaded it up with like 50 of them. And I had them all off to one side, coming up through the partition window behind me. And first thing, I turn on the thing and I see this light on the dash and I feel the whole car move. It says auto leveling. I was like, whoa, fucking what was that? Right? So I'm all happy. I got all this wood fucking in a hearse and I'm driving. This guy fucking cuts me off. It's nighttime and we're on the freeway. Well, we're both getting off the freeway at the same time. Well, what he doesn't know is I love doing this when people are assholes, is under the fucking dash, there's a fucking light switch for flashers that are hidden underneath. So when you're doing the procession, you can flash those and whatever. Nobody knows the difference. All they see is a black car. I throw on my high beams. I start throwing the flashers, pull the motherfucker over just long enough to pull up the side of him and be all, fuck you, and then fucking speed away. And he just sat there. He didn't. I mean, what do you do when a fucking big black hearse with the lanterns and shit pulls up next to you, flips you off after pulling you over? I thought it was fucking fantastic. So I did that shit forever, pulling everybody over at night just to flip them off and drive off. And nobody ever chased. It was classic.
Yeah, but they think it's full of the tall man and a bunch of dwarves wearing Jawa outfits.
I wish. If I could just, like, hey, here's room and board. The weirder looking you are, be my security and just roam around the house and creep out the homeless people outside my door. Be fucking amazing.
I'd love to do that. That's my goal. I always told my wife if we ever win the lottery, I was like, I'm just gonna have a freak show follow me around everywhere. Just
yeah.
Fucking McDonald's, fucking the grocery store, the giant lady, the 2 foot tall man.
Yeah. Up here in Portland, there is one thing that I noticed when I first got here. There is a lot of fucking midgets, and I'm telling you, some of these midget women are fucking hot. I mean, I when I was married, my wife would be like, "Are you checking that chick out?" I was like, "Yeah, she's a fucking hot little midget." She's all, "You're gonna end up leaving me for a midget, aren't you?" I was like, "If I find one that even winks at me, I'm fucking gone. Gone. I'm gonna see if she's got friends. I'm gonna have a fucking little short woman harem. It's gonna be like fucking Docta Zombo's fucking sex acrobatics in the bedroom. Fucking hop one off and grab another one.
Cover like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be amazing.
Another album is like that. Is that a Paul Williams record with a bunch of little midget women worshiping him? We don't say midget women anymore. We say tiny little ladies.
Oh yeah, tiny peoples.
Tiny people, little persons.
Birthday
challenge.
Midget's such a great
small yet perfectly proportionate women.
They are. I've watched enough midget porn. I mean, tiny person porn to know they got it going on. They got the big old butt and the whole thing. I mean, good stuff. Good stuff.
I got to tell you a story. I run with some wrestlers, and my one buddy used to run his wrestling organization. And suddenly, this one dude just stopped being there, and he's one of their main draws. And I'm like, man, whatever happened to And he's like, we just didn't, shit happened, blah blah blah. So I started asking other people. I was like, man, whatever happened? And they're like, didn't anybody tell you? And they're like, what? It's like, dude, he wouldn't leave Pinky Short, was it? Pinky Shortcake, I think was her wrestling name. He wouldn't leave her alone. And he was trying to get with his little midget chick the entire time. And I was sitting there going, hey, she's cute. I'm not going to lie.
Okay, I have a serious question to ask.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I have noticed in the horror community, there's a lot of you that are really big wrestling fans. Is it a nostalgia thing? Like, I'm just curious. I didn't understand it at first. I was like trying to like come up with my own concoction in my head as to like the correlation with, really into sci-fi and the fucking horror, but then like there's wrestling.
Well, I'm interested in this as well because a lot of my first fans were wrestling fans and Mexican wrestling fans as well. And I was like, I don't get it, because I was never into wrestling. You know, even in the 80s,
Yeah.
I didn't really care about it. But I didn't know if it was because like my makeup looked like a mask, or my mask looked like a makeup, or something like that. But it's like there seemed to be a crossover between horror, wrestling, car culture,
Yeah.
and Monster Mash.
Well,
Yeah.
that's like finding out. I know this is bad, but there is a huge connection between Star Trek fans and the BDSM community. Like, yeah, and it's
Slash
funny.
fiction, and the gay ones too, because of Kirk Spock slash.
Oh yeah. Well,
Wow.
I told this on a show a couple shows ago, but I was at a con and I'm talking to these people almost the entire day, and they're in full Klingon gear. It was a husband and wife, and we're just chatting bullshit and whatnot, and we're getting towards the end of the convention, and they're like, "What are you doing when we're done?" I'm like, I don't know. I'll probably pack up, go get something to eat, head home. And they're like, "Well, you can come up. We're going to go get something to eat and stuff." And I'm like, "Nah, I got some shit." And they're like, "Well, you can come on up to our room for a while." And I'm like, and all of a sudden I'm like, "Oh shit. Nah, I'm good. I'm good." It's like,
You party pooper.
yeah. I was like, "Nah, man." I was like, "Nah, I gotta get home to my wife, my kids."
God damn. I would have went up and I would have rocked that shit.
Oh, if I'd have been single,
Sure, if you be Commander
it could be
Picard.
Commander Riker.
Yeah.
Dude,
Right,
if I'd been
and,
single,
what's her name?
I'd have been like, you know what?
Troy.
Whatever. We're going for it.
Come on. Who's never wanted to stick a tribble up their ass? They're furry. They're little. Fun. They multiply. It's like gremlins.
Holy shit. But, oh, man. No, the wrestling thing. Before I forget, I gotta get back to wrestling. I couldn't tell you when I started liking wrestling when I was a kid. I got really into it in the 80s, like a lot of kids did. I kind of fell out of it. I got back into it. Fell out of it. I'd go back and forth. I'm still watch it. I'll still go to it live. I haven't watched any new wrestling on TV in forever. I'll go back and watch old stuff. But right now, I've been going up to Michigan. My buddy's been taking me. I've been going up there to that death match wrestling. So this is the stuff where them guys are hitting each other with light tubes, television sets, a weed eater, and it's my buddy looks at me and he goes, "Hey," he goes, "watch this guy." He goes, "He bleeds like it's his job, and he will get it on you." And like 5 minutes later, I look down, I got blood all over my pants. I'm like, "God damn it! I got to drive back to Ohio." And so I'm like, shit, I hope I don't get pulled over because I got blood all over me. And damn it. All right, here we go. Boom. That guy right there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So,
he looks like he was just born.
yeah, and then that's the guy he was wrestling at the time.
God damn.
The guy there was a guy sitting next to me, and he's sitting there and he goes, "I'm bleeding, I think." And he's got no hat on. But all of a sudden he goes, "Man, is that mine or is that somebody else's?" And I said, go wipe your head like this. And I was like, "Nope, that's yours, dude." And he goes, evidently a piece of glass had nicked him and cut him, and he was just bleeding. And I'm sitting there, and it was funny because one of the last shows I was at, somebody was filming it, and it was on, I don't know, YouTube or fucking TikTok or something like that. And somebody goes, "Man, I was watching wrestling." He goes, "There's a dude, front row, sunglasses on, black leather jacket, hat, and he's just all chilled out, just watching it." I was like, "Dude, that's me."
Yeah.
I was like, one, I got my leather coat on because, man, if anything hits, it's going to bounce off the leather coat. Two, them sunglasses are sunglass/safety glasses.
Yeah.
Two, I always wear a hat. And So, but
Oh,
yeah, I was like,
fucking, yeah. Well, that does sort of answer the question. I always wondered that because I started noticing the crossover, and me personally, I didn't understand, and I just kind of chalked it up to like a nostalgia thing, kind of like with horror movies and
yep,
everything else. A lot of people carry that, you know, throughout adulthood, whatever, and so it makes sense. I just never it. Thank you for enlightening me a little.
yeah. And to be honest, for me now, I love going to live wrestling. There's nothing like going to it's a spectacle. There's all kinds of shit going on. You know, it's fun. You watch the crowd gets into it. It's fun watching little kids start screaming and yelling and cussing out the wrestlers and
Yeah, I
shit.
can see that.
So good. But it's all like I said, it's almost as much fun watching the wrestling as it is watching the people in the arena. So
You want to hear something really funny? The only sport that I actually like joined and played was wrestling, and I only did it for about 2 years until I got kicked out completely. And they're like, "Ain't happening. You're not wrestling anymore." Because I had this coach. I had a lot of aggression. It was the only way I could get out of my house as a kid. My parents didn't even fucking know I was doing it. And then when they found out, my dad buys me these wrestling shoes because I needed some, right? And he got them used. They're 3 sizes too big. Look like fucking Mr. T, like, fucking. They were Nike and they came up to my knees. They were white, like fucking wrestling boots. And I was like, well, it's changed a little bit. I'm not actually in the WWF or whatever the fuck. But yeah, my coach kept teaching us this move called the whizzer. The whizzer, the fucking whizzer, but don't ever use it. But here's how you do the whizzer. Don't do the whizzer. It's an illegal move, but here's how you do it. You just pumped it, pumped it, pumped it. And we get in our little stance, and I was up against this kid from fucking local town, and he was somebody I went to school with. I was like, hey, I haven't seen you in fucking years. He was like, hey, fucking, well, good game, right? Let's do this. We get in our stance, and fucking, I pull the whizzer. Well, I pull the whizzer. Now I know why it's illegal, because when I did the whizzer, all I heard is crack, crack, crack. Ow, I can't move. And now he's in a fucking wheelchair for the rest of his life. And they're like, yeah, you're not state championship. Bam, there it was. I was like, oh, shit. Yeah.
I got
I told you not to do the whizzer.
Yeah.
not to do it. It's
yeah. Let's do the whizzer.
I'm going to teach you the dim mac. We're going to teach you how to do the 5-finger death punch. Do not use it. I'm going to teach you how to use this.
Yeah. Here's a weapon that will totally kick their ass. Don't ever use it, even though that's what you're trying to do.
Yep.
Yeah. Sports is never free.
Match. I'd like to go to a wrestling match, maybe sometimes. Not if they're going to bleed all over me, because that's disgusting. I don't want anybody's blood on me. That's horrible. I might like to go to one of those wrestling matches that they do, like in the Andes Mountains or something, or in Peru. Where do they do that? Peru or Venezuela? Yeah. Where they have the women wrestling, yep. And they wear like the big dresses with the crinolines and the crazy hats and everything.
Yep.
That's the kind of wrestling that I want to see. Yes, that is what I would be into.
Yeah. I've seen Lucha Libre, the Mexican wrestling. I've been to I haven't been to Mexico. I've been to New Orleans, and they had Lucha Libre wrestling while I was in New Orleans. I was like, fuck it, I'm here. I'm going to watch it. And I love that stuff because that's just superheroes in Mexico. I mean, literally, they were superheroes. That's why you had Santos and Blue Demon, movies. So those guys are still superheroes down there, and that's fun. Deathmatch wrestling is just a trip because it's just you look at that and you're just like, why would you do that? And you can't. It's a car crash. It's a wreck that you can't not watch. That's the worst part about it. And I'm gonna make myself look like I'm a huge asshole here, bigger than I actually am. We were at the last wrestling, and there's this guy in the front row with his girlfriend, and we're slowly watching this girl freak out more and more as the night goes along. Mind you, the dude doesn't move from front row. His girlfriend is huddled with like her coat over her head and peeking out every once in a while. He's holding her like this. Mind you, still front row, not going to move. And so they would go around the ring, and when they would do stuff, they would go like, this side. And you'd be like, yeah, come over, bring him over here. And you'd beat on him on this side, and then go over on the other side. No. The entire night, whenever the wrestler would go from point to point, like trying to get people, we'd go, no, that side. Just so they would do that in front of that guy and his girlfriend.
That's fucking classic.
Oh, that girl's got PTSD. I hate to say this, but that girl was freaking out when it ended and she left. She looked traumatized when she walked out the door.
Waited in the car.
Yeah.
Why torture yourself like that? Go wait in the car, honey.
That's what I want to know. It was not.
A lot of interesting things to do on the internet now with mobile devices. Like you don't have to traumatize yourself.
But yeah. She stayed there the entire time.
Blame yourself.
Oh my God. But yeah, it was like you're just watching this happen, and you can't help but get into it and be like, "What idiot!" When his girlfriend starts freaking the fuck out, at least go, okay, let's move to the back. Let's move away from the ring. Because, I mean, it wasn't a huge room, but you could move far enough. You're not going to get hit with nothing. You're not going to have nothing on you. Whatever. He could have moved her back far enough. Nope. He stayed front row. He wasn't giving up those tickets, man. He was not giving it up.
He did her a favor. Yeah. She's a prude.
Was that normal wrestling, or was it the deathmatch wrestling that you were talking about?
It was deathmatch wrestling. Yeah. So yeah, and it was a dude named Schlack, who is I mean, he's not tall, but he is a monster of a man, and he has shirts like "Guns don't kill people, Schlack kills people." Stuff like that. God dang it. I just skipped past all that. Okay. It's bad that there's only like 3 things on my phone. There's comic books, concerts, and wrestling. And maybe a picture of my kids every once. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. You get that. See that big ass dude right there?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's Schlack. That dude is just covered in scars. Under his tattoos, and you're just like, and I think he's a tattoo artist as his regular day job, but that's just it, man. All these guys have regular shoot jobs where they go to work every day when they're not wrestling. And I was like, I couldn't imagine showing up for work and your back has been laying in shattered glass for 2 days. So,
yeah, I can imagine.
But, that's awful. I got a hangnail the other day. It was like the end of my world. I can't even imagine.
Well, it's like one night we're driving home. It's cold. So we were up in Michigan. I think it was like 10 degrees up there. And I get home and I'm like, man, my arm is itching. And evidently a piece of glass had went up my sleeve of my coat. So all I was doing was moving this piece of glass around inside my sleeve the entire night. And I'm like, dang it. I was like, I'm wussing out because I got a little tiny piece of glass rubbing my arm. These guys are shattering glass over their heads. And I'm like,
that reminds me of back in high school. I don't know what the fuck was wrong with me then. I know what's fucking wrong with me now, but I fucking, for some reason, I made this little fucking like leather strap corset thing, that I'd wear under my shirt. And it's 110, 120 degrees fucking out in Arizona. And I'd fucking wear it under my shirt, but I'd put broken glass in it before I go to school, and I'd tighten that fucker up real tight and just sit around in it all day. And nobody ever fucking knew. And one day, yeah, well, kind of, sort of, not really, but hey, it is what it is. I was fucking in the lunch line, fucking, with my tray waiting to get through there. And somebody's like, hey, man, you're fucking bleeding. I was like, what are you talking about? And I didn't realize I just had blood running out from under my shirt, and like the gig was up. A teacher took me to the office and they're like, we need to check you out. Have you been abused? I was like, yeah, my whole life, but it has nothing to do with that. And they're like, all right, lift up your shirt. And they're like, what the fuck? And I mean, literally said, what the fuck? And like walked out of the room. They're like, we think you might have some problems. And I was like, I could have fucking told you that. I'm like, but it makes me feel better.
Yep.
That's some weird and masochistic shit.
Yes.
What did you grow up Catholic or something?
Pentecostal.
Wearing a Pentecostal, even worse.
Yes.
Even worse. But at least the Pentecostals didn't flagellate themselves. Say, oh no, but obviously they wore leather corsets with glass under them. So there you go.
No, here was the thing. When I grew up, I've always been dedicated to everything I do. Okay, anything that makes me feel something, right? So in the church, we went fucking 3, 4, 5 times a fucking week. Like my parents were part of the playing the guitars and the fucking bullshit on stage and whatever. It was just very religious, whatever. So I got really into it and I was dedicated. And I don't know. My birthday's on Christmas Eve, so I'd be like, oh, this day I need to fucking mourn because I'm taken away from baby Jesus. And, made my dad one time, he's all, what do you want to be for Christmas or Halloween? And I was like, oh, I want to be the guy who carried the cross. I can't even remember his fucking name now. And he built me I was like, I want a real cross. I want to feel this shit. He built me a life-size fucking cross. I put on the bedsheet robe, and I'm walking down the street for fucking miles. I wouldn't even take candy. I just walk up to the door tired with my shoulder bleeding and be like, did you know Jesus loves you? Now look at me. Born again. That's Docta motherfucking Zombo.
That's terrible.
Yeah. You know what fucking ruined it for me? I'll tell you. Cross between fucking most Christians being complete fucking lying sacks of shit, and B, the day I got baptized, I was about 8, 9. The fucking pastor, I was getting dressed and shit. And he comes in with his fucking pants down. He's like, "You can touch it if you want to," and I was like, "I'm fucking done. I'm done.
That doesn't surprise me.
I'm done."
My best friend worked at a retirement home for priests, and most of them were losing their minds. And at the time, he was a 17-year-old, slim, blonde, very good-looking gay boy, and they were all over him like white on rice every day. And it got to the point where he had to like start bringing like what do they call it? Like a slapstick. Or like a ruler or something. I mean, they love it with a ruler. Yeah, but he'd be like he'd have to be like, Father Carmel, like, stop, get off, and like he'd have to hit them and stuff. Yeah. It's like, I'm just here to wash dishes in the sink. It's terrible.
It ruined that shit for me. I was just like, what the? Here I am. For me, a kid wanting to be like Mr. fucking religion. I want to be a preacher. Well, I am now, sort of, but here it is, my baptism. Like, I used to do Jericho walks with my parents around buildings that were infested with evil spirits and, fucking revivals and fucking, fucking rolling around on the ground and all this shit. And what did it provide me? An old man's dick. Yay!
Oh, speaking of, I'd just like to mention and commemorate Pat Robertson died. So that's wonderful!
Right.
Yay! Everybody
fucking
can clap
scam
about
artist.
That. There's one horrible charlatan.
Oh, if we dead. How can that even remotely be legal? I mean, if I were to
if you're connected enough, baby.
Yeah.
If you got the money behind you, or you say you're righteous or whatever, that's all that it takes.
Well, it's like, I hate to say this, but they finally busted Danny Masterson, the kid played Hyde on that 70s show. Yeah. He's looking at like 30 years to life, which he should. But the thing is, though, is I think they should go after the Church of Scientology, because they've been hiding all this shit for him for 20 some years at this point. Why aren't they getting it?
Nobody's gonna bust anyone. You know why? Because they supply the money to these fucked up politicians that are burning books and fucking telling gay people to go fuck themselves. Look, you want to fucking talk about going after someone? Why don't we all go after the politicians and the church and say, hey, you're all scam motherfucking artists. But hey, guess what? Ain't gonna happen, because we ain't got fucking billions of dollars.
No.
So we just create a bunch of weird shit and change people's perspective so they make weird shit. And then we tell the whole world, hey, follow us and make weird shit and think weird and look weird, and then we'll just scare the living shit out of them. See, I want to get a busload of the biggest, burliest drag queens, weirdest, creepiest fucktards, all the fucking weirdos and creeps, all the rejects, all the junkies and drunks, and I'm going to pile them all in a bus, and I'm going to take them to Capitol Hill and their little gated communities, and we're going to sing Kumbaya out front of their house, and then we're going to slowly creep into their house, and we're going to haunt the shit out of them until they change their evil ways. And I'm going to eat their fucking babies, one by fucking one. You ever bite a baby? They're so chewy. I used to bite my kid when he was little. I'd bite his leg, and sometimes I knew it was too much because I'd hear a crunch, and he'd go, and I'd be like, oh shit, a little too deep. I couldn't help it. Baby legs. They're fucking so chubby and soft.
That's delicious.
Was the like everybody goes, oh, look at the little baby's fingers. You could just eat them up.
And their fingers ain't worth a damn, but their legs and the back of their arms. You know?
The toes are like grapes.
What?
The toes are grapes.
Yep.
Yeah. A little bit of barbecue sauce.
Baby back ribs.
Yeah. I'm going to go eat. I'm telling everyone out there in the world, if you're a politician and you're a jack-off, I'm coming for your babies. I'm going to eat them. Every last fucking one of them.
That's what they all thought back in 2020, right? Is that they thought that all the Democrats were eating babies,
Yep.
eating their brains,
Oh,
and drinking their blood for the adrenochrome.
What was it?
Right.
They all wore
They're
red
like-
shoes made from dead kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I would. Listen, I've been
I-
trying to get myself a pair of Pope shoes for years now. You know how
Yeah.
hard it is? They won't even answer my calls in Italy.
No.
I'm like,
trying
hello,
to
I
get
need
one
a
of those
pair of
funny
bright
things.
red Pope shoes. They're like, forget it, pal. I was like, can I get some sequins on those? Click.
I bet if you would have asked without sequence, they might have worked with you.
I know. The patent
Bro,
leather,
that's-
that's all I want. Just a plain patent leather. No more fancy or gay than the Nazi Pope had. That's it. That's the limit. That's what I want. I want the Nazi Pope shoes. Pope Francis doesn't even wear them. He wears like some easy spirits or some shit. I don't know. He plays basketball in them
Well, I know. What was the one before?
because it's easier on his tootsies.
Was like a big shoe
What
collector.
a pussy.
He wore like high end like stupid shoes. I'm like,
Yeah, I have the shoes. And over here in this closet, I have all my handbags, okay?
Hey, I'm going to be the first one to admit, I am a fucking shoe whore. I love shoes.
Yeah, that's what they teach you in the Pentecostal church, you know.
They did.
shoes.
Yeah.
No, those motherfuckers had no taste. They looked as bad
The
as
shoe, and then you have a fixation for the rest of your life.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I got all my fucking flavor from Willie Dynamite and fucking Petey Wheatstraw. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
You have a lot of flavor.
Oh, yeah. Everyone's like, why you dress like a pimp? I was like, what's wrong with that? They got taste. Big fur coats and a nice hat and shit and the badass shoes. I'm pretty slick.
I'm super lazy when it comes to shoes. I got two pairs. I got the pair I use to mow the yard, and then the pair I wear everywhere else, and they look almost exactly the same.
Hey, I'll tell you, never let anyone tell you this. That, oh, yeah, a woman likes just a good, hard man. Yeah, they do. But when you throw on some nice fucking shoes, oh, they come flocking. They're like, where'd you get your shoes? Oh, I got them just the other day off Amazon. It was a great deal. You like them? They're like, oh, I love your jacket. Oh, it's fucking amazing. Then the guys around that are like, I got my Carhartts on, and I just came from work. Don't I look pretty sexy? And they're just like, yeah. He's got nice shoes. And I was like, yeah, eat it,
That's what all
motherfucker.
the gay boys like. The gay boys like the ones in the Carhartts. The ladies like the sharp dressed men, the ZZ Top men with the fancy shoes. I told you that story about my friend when he saw Prince out in public and he tried to start a conversation with him. He said, "Oh, I like your shoes. Where did you get them?" And Prince said, "I had them made." I used do for years I had this look in the late 90s, early 2000s that I called senior citizen pimp, or Miami Beach chic, or whatever it was. It was somewhere in between the two. So I ended up wearing like a lot of Velcro shoes. I don't know. I thought they were hip. They were like, the kind of orthopedic beige, with the Velcro strap. And I thought they were great. And one day I was like hippity hopping down Christopher Street in NYC in the Village, which like has slowly been like overturning and becoming less of like a gay area and more of like just like Disney World or something like that. I don't even know what it is nowadays. But like I walked past a group of 3 fabulous Black lesbians, and like I thought I looked really good. You know what I mean? I had on like my whole vintage leisure suit matching with like that kind of like light blue, powder blue, and I had on a really garish Hawaiian shirt, and I was wearing my orthopedic beige, or maybe they were like gray McGregor Velcro shoes or something like this. And first I go past one girl and I hear, "Oh my God, there goes one of the cute kind." And I was like, yeah, because I didn't know if she meant like, like gay boys or fat boys or white boys. But like either one of those, like if I was one of the cute kind, I was fine. And then like, so whenever I went to my friend's house, and then I turned around and I was walking back and I passed another group of, again, 3 fabulous gay, Black, lesbian type ladies. And one of them says, "Oh my God, look at his shoes." And I was like, oh, and it just destroyed me because I know she didn't think they were hip at all.
Yeah, you just know at that point. You just know. Fuck. I'm just picturing like
one of the cute kind.
I'm picturing like Tom Selleck meets like fucking Dead Poet Society. You know what I mean? Like kind of mixed together type thing.
I could work that. with a little bit of Pugsley Adams thrown in for fun,
Yeah, we can't get away from that. It just happens. I can wear a fucking 3-piece suit and still look like fucking Fester, man. I swear to God.
The circles around the eyes.
Well, back in the day, I was like, man, I'm going to buy me a nice suit. I'm going to buy me a nice, slick suit. So I go in, get this black jacket, black red tie, the whole thing. And I walked out, and I looked in the mirror, and I look like the guy who would show up when you owe somebody money. The first guy that shows up. I was like, I would be the guy that show up going, "Oh, I need to get the money." Or 2 guys will be here later to get the money.
Dude, fuck. I have a nice fucking pinstripe suit right now, right? It's like black gray. I got a nice fucking pearl white tie that goes with it, my fucking Italian shoes, fucking whole nine. And one day I hadn't been to a fucking job interview in over 20 fucking years, right? So like I'm like, oh, I need to look nice, and I didn't really have, I have my nice shit, but it's my kind of nice, right? Mm-hmm. And I come walking out of the fucking bathroom. My girlfriend at the time was like, "What the fuck is that?" She was like, "Even with the hanky and shit?" She was like, "You're going to a job interview at a machine shop." And I was like, "Too much?" And she was like, "You look like one of the fucking Sopranos. Why are you wearing a fedora?" I was like, "It goes with the suit." The fuck?
What are you gonna do?
Hey, I can't help I got class. I see these motherfuckers walking around nowadays like nobody combs their hair, nobody combs their face, fucking. And then when they do, they look like fucking some little church hair boys. Fucking. I went to downtown Portland, right? Me and the girl fucking out there, and we're all dressed up just last week. And I'm like, I've never got such a horrible reception from everybody in my life. Like usually I make people uncomfortable. Some people laugh, some people scared, some people like, "What are you? What the fuck's happening?" No, these people were just blank, dead, fucking robot zombies. And every motherfucker down there looked like Beverly Hills just puked all over Portland. They were all wearing khaki pants, pastel shirts with the collars popped, little bleached church. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, if anyone made me dress like that in my early 20s, that would be fucking torture. I would not leave the house. I would cry. if I had to walk out of the house looking like that. And these motherfuckers were doing it willingly.
On purpose.
And they just weren't fazed by nothing. They were just, I try to play jokes. I was like, so what the fuck are you clowns up to tonight? You know, well, we are going to play this video game. It's a retro. I was like, oh my God. I was like, I don't want to hear your fucking life story. I could give a shit. I'm fucking with you. And her friend's like, oh, well, maybe you should tell him about the other game. I don't give a fuck. What is wrong with you fucking people? Am I not wearing a fucking drop-out weird shit? Yeah. I was like, so that whole Keep Portland weird shit is fucking dead. It's kaput. It's gone. Fucking buried and gone. There is no Keep Portland weird anymore. And for anyone out there, listen to me. If you live in fucking Portland, get the cob out your ass. You ain't that fucking special. Open your doors to the other freaks, or we are never going to survive. You fucks. Sorry, I'm a little heated. What the fuck? You live in a big city and these motherfuckers act like, oh, I'm so special. I need to sit in my little corner with my little friends talking about our little ideas dressed weird, all topical, strange, but inside we're just boring. Dribble of fucking mankind drinking a little coffee and our fancy beers. Please be gone with you, person of interest. Please. Fuck.
Oh my God, that's so good. I'm going to put that as my header under my Instagram profile. Mikey Sevier, person of interest. The whole monologue. The whole monologue. Click the three dots for more.
I'm sorry. It pisses me off. Everywhere I go when I do the Docta Zombo and I fucking show up, and I even got a girl that's fucking equally fucking dressed up, fucking fantastic, or their horn fucking going the whole nine. Everywhere else, it's a good reception. It's fucking fantastic. But an entire downtown, oh, it's just another day. Like you're not at a fucking art gallery.
No.
What the fuck? What is wrong with people
right now? You know, I don't really know. I wish I saw anybody ever that looked good. I live in North Carolina. Everybody looks terrible all the time. I hate all the people that live here, all the white people.
In North Carolina?
Yeah.
I might be moving up by you.
Don't do that.
You're like, I don't give a shit.
Are you thinking Raleigh? Are you thinking of Raleigh or something like that?
Closer to Asheville.
Asheville, yeah. Asheville's nice, you know, whatever. But any place you go, you're going to have that Portland bullshit. Because by the time anybody from anywhere else finds about a cool scene, it's over. And it's all full of whatever the equivalent today for yuppies is.
But yeah.
I don't. They're fucking robots. They're all fucking robots. I thought Tom Cruise was a fucking robot. No, these are fucking robots. We're cranking them out with this fucking internet shit, dude. They are the most complacent.
He's not a robot.
Huh?
It's like, you know how like everyone thinks David Bowie is an alien, but really he's an elf?
Yeah.
Tom Cruise isn't a robot. He's a deepfake.
He's a deepfake. as I've said though about David Bowie, I was like, he didn't die. He just went home.
Yeah.
He went back to his real dimension.
That's actually fucking 100% true because, you know, people like that are unique. They're special people in the fucking universe. And those are the people that I like to get on, you know? And it's, why do I need to find, I have to search the anals of fucking goddamn Facebook and shit and Instagram and just keep putting it out. Hey, you want to talk to me? Hey, you want to talk to me? Because Jesus Christ, out of what? Close to 5,000 motherfuckers following my goddamn page. I've got a group of about 5 or 6 of you fuckers. How the fuck is that even pop? You know, like, I literally had to ship somebody to spend time with me from another state. Yeah. And I'm glad I did because she's very special. Hi, Egg.
Hi, Egg. Yeah, I got a Facebook request from Anu yesterday, and I said, Anu, I hardly know you. I don't know you at all. Who are you? You want to be my friend? Do you want to buy a mask? That would be nice. Otherwise, I don't really need to be your friend. That sounds terrible. People on Facebook are going to see this, but everybody knows exactly what I mean. Why do I have so many friends? I don't need them. I'm really not interested in them. I don't even like my own friends who I actually know that much. They're okay. No, don't get me wrong. They're okay. But, like, you know, they're not giving me money for free.
Yeah. Well, this is why I tell people, like, you know, everyone's like, you need to get out more. You need to make some friends. Do I? Do I really? Do I fucking really? Because, you know, I'm having a real good time by myself.
You know what? You probably shouldn't try to make any friends. It's probably better that you don't.
Yeah, I'd probably piss them off sooner or later anyway. Or they piss me off, which they already, yeah, you know.
You'd have to eat their baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be good. It wouldn't be good, is what I'm saying. You know, this would, you know, words would be exchanged. You'd become a person of interest, and you'd have to eat a baby, and that's, you know.
Hey, if they got the baby, it's not my problem. I didn't tell them to have it.
I didn't tell you to have that baby.
One of the best things you can do to somebody is I don't know why people love handing me their children, and I don't want to hold your kid. I asked this people, like, oh, you're hearing a baby. I'm like, is it mine? They're like, no, then I don't want it. Or what the best thing to do is when they hand you a baby now, go, no thanks, I've already eaten.
I like it. I like it.
But no thanks, I'm not hungry.
Somebody handed me their fucking corgi when we were doing a live fucking deal at this Alberta art walk, right? Shitloads of people everywhere. I'm already been out there for 4 hours, fucking carnival barker and getting people into the bus for fucking fortunes to get read and all this shit. And this guy comes up, hey, will you hold my corgi and take a picture? And he hands it to Nova. And she is like, hey, he wants us to take a picture. I'm not even paying attention. I just turn around and go, and I end up biting the fucking corgi's face right as he takes the fucking picture. So now I have this picture of me going, and the dog like fucking yelping, and him like basically about to fucking cry. And he was like, can I have my dog back? And I was like, oh shit, I didn't mean to eat your dog. But, you know, you got to play it off because you got to do the showman thing. And I have to say, funny moment, that was totally accidental.
I got to be careful because everyone expects everybody to be normal, and you never know if they're going to eat your dog or your baby or something.
Yeah. I can't help what I am. I am what I am. I can't be any different. I've tried, and it's so fake.
Oh, shit. I had somebody ask me the other day, and they're like, well, when are you going to grow up? I'm like, what do you mean? And they're like, man, I like toys and comic books and all that stuff. Like that. Never. I'm going to do this till I die. And then they're like, well, I was like, dude, I live a better life than you probably do. I do what I want when I want. I enjoy what I love. I can spend time with my kids and stuff like that. You're the, a drone that goes to work every day that in a job they freaking hate and deal with people they don't like. And you come home, you don't have any enjoyment left in your life because you can't enjoy shit that, do I still enjoy shit that I grew up on? Yeah. Do I enjoy some new stuff I found recently? Yeah. I don't care. I can enjoy both. Yeah. And there's people that I looked at, I was like, why did you stop? They're like, man, I haven't watched a Star Wars movie in forever. I'm like, I miss them. I'm like, dude, that's what fucking, you can watch it on TV. You just click a button and watch it. Why is that a problem? Because
they had to switch it up with Adam Sandler movies.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean? Or like Paul Rudd movies or some shit. I don't know. Whatever appeases the whole family and the missus. Oh, like, why don't we watch something about going to Hawaii and falling in love and then cheating on each other and getting drunk and then magically coming back together and fucking. Yeah, that sounds like fun. Why the fuck do I want to see what you really want to do to me? You want to have me pay for your fucking trip out to Hawaii so you can sneak off while I'm sleeping, get drunk, drinking mojitos with the fucking surfboard guy, and then come back and blame it on me, and then we run away, horribly fucking distraught, and come back and hopefully fucking make up. Fuck you. 1 second.
Sarah Marshall. I love that one.
Yep.
That's my favorite. Forgetting Sarah Marshall and what was the Gold Diggers movie? Finding Gold. Eating Gold.
Yep.
I am back.
All right.
Getting all ramped up here. I don't know. I really hate fucking people. I'm trying to change that narrative. I don't hate people. I hate the fucking human condition. I care about people and I want to pull them out because whatever the fuck they're showing up here is all bullshit, bullshit, and bullshit. And half the motherfuckers on Facebook are bullshit too. I don't believe everybody's having a good time. You're all full of shit. Not everybody's having a great time. I will be the first to admit. I'll take a picture and I look like this and blah, blah, blah. Underneath, I'm having a miserable time most of the time, except for the last 3 weeks with egg. I've had a fantastic time. I keep mentioning here, I'm just smitten. The doctor has a ticker going again. Kind of nice.
There you go.
I don't think you're going to find that it's any better anywhere else, Doc.
No. I'm still looking for a cave. A legitimate cave.
A cave or a cape? I have a number of capes. Can I interest you in a cape?
Oh, yes, please.
Opened a cape and showed him. Can I interest you in a cape?
Yes, please. Can I get a 2 for 1?
1 for 2.
Does it have Wi-Fi? So I can get on Facebook and show everyone how happy I am.
It has sci-fi. Listen, you know what I think? I think people showing how happy they are is much better than people complaining. I hate the people who complain about stupid, miserable, boring, non-important things on Facebook. That's
well, I
the
can
worst.
say something about that too. Because the people that are complaining about bullshit too. It's like they can't be real with the happy or the fucking pissed off.
Or you get the people that are just out and out vague about it just so you can pay attention to them.
Yeah.
They'll do the vaguest shit like, oh, I'm having a day. You know, put some good vibes out for me.
What the fuck is that going to do? Somebody gave you an electronic thumbs up. Where is the middle finger? Why can't I hit that?
Agreed. I just want the puke emoji.
Yeah.
There is a puke emoji.
That's what I use. Yeah, but not like you can't puke emoji just by double tapping or anything.
Yeah,
that's what I want.
Yeah.
Because people I mean I really needed that a few years ago because a lot of people were just totally unashamed to post about how racist or horrible or anti-gay is still a thing. I get a lot of still horror hosts and things like, do you know those two? What are their names? Drac is the one horror host, and then he's got his wife, wife who's like 20 or 30 years younger than him. I don't remember what her name is, but she like plays it off like she's like this nice, kind lady, and she's all just about good vibes and happiness together. And then I look and like they're posting about how drag queens are indoctrinating children into Satanism, and he's posting about like January 6th and killing and the righteousness of the rioters and like killing Democrats and stuff like that. And
he's wearing a cape.
Well, he's not wearing makeup though, and that's something that I want to take up with you, Paul. For when you do your horror, if you do any hosting of any kind, you need to wear makeup so that you don't have to be like this guy who calls himself Drac, who doesn't even wear vampire makeup, please, because it's too gay. Well, hey, you know, come on, it is a little bit, but you know.
No, I am just.
You know what I'm talking about.
My wife, she wants to make up my face, but like I have like, you cannot put anything around my eyes. I'd be like, nope. I don't like it. I remember the one time she goes,
come to the dark side with us.
She's like, I would put eyeliner
on you. Indoctrinate you.
I have a good product for you because I have a similar problem now because I have a weird eye, which cannot take anything and it like sucks makeup into it. So like I use this great stuff. It's almost like a wax and it doesn't move. And you just press your thumb into it like that and you go and it makes it all nice and black. And then you can just like tap around the edges a little bit.
Yeah,
it looks nicer than Robert Smith's makeup, that's for sure.
Yeah. It's one of the ones where I have tried many a time, and I can't. I mean, I've done makeup, and what's bad is I can kind of, I did the one year. It was funny for Halloween. I did. I was a baseball fury from the Warriors,
Nice.
and it was funny because I'm sitting there. I got the baseball jersey on. I got the hat. I got the face paint. I got the ball bat. And I'm walking around, and everybody's like, "Oh, you this," and all of a sudden, this one dude just jumps up. We're at this party. He's like, "Fucking baseball fury!" I was like, "Yes, you."
That's gratifying.
It is.
I dressed up for that one person. That's what and me. So
Hey, well, it shows that you can. And by the way, the whole indoctrination thing, like seriously, Shakespeare, the Egyptians, the fucking Romans, fucking Jerry Lewis, Bob Hope, fucking come. These motherfuckers.
Well, no, the whole thing is that they say that, like, drag queens and trans people and people like me are indoctrinating children, but like, what are you indoctrinating children into? Number one, we know that all the religious ones are the ones who are touching children.
Right?
Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. That's what what do they call it? Sexual what is it? Not deprivation. When you have to when they clamp down on any thought of sexual anything. What is the word?
Oh, yeah.
What is the word for it? You know what I mean?
yeah,
It's into my mind right
They're
now.
all a bunch
But
of
everybody knows that is what creates the perversions in these people when they when they clamp down on that, and they're all crazy. There's a great documentary now on the whole Duggar family and how fucked up those people are.
yeah.
And
I
how they're.
I need to watch
Did
it.
you see that? It was
I
great,
watched
right?
it.
It had a girl that I watch on YouTube who puts makeup on while talking about the TV shows. We're talking about the Duggars and whatever, and they interviewed her. And I was like, "Hey, that's my girl. That's my weird chunky girl who puts makeup on." But anyway, yeah, that's all about that, and it's all about that. How that culture makes you number one.
hide your carnal pleasures.
Hide your pleasures, your desires, and number two, totally demeans women and puts them in the back and makes sure that only men are allowed to preach. And my next door neighbors believe that only men should be allowed to preach. In their church, only men can be the preachers and shit like that. And I'm like, you are fucking crazy. I can't even believe I'm talking to you right now.
Yeah.
And then they go and burn books, and that's not okay. Like, that's what Nazis do. You are literally a Nazi. Like, you're not wearing an armband, but you believe a lot of the same stuff that they do. Only worse, because you know what? The Nazis weren't that religious.
Yeah. The thing that cracks me up about these motherfuckers is they don't even realize the people that they're getting their information from, the people that they're following, the people that they're putting their money in their pocket are the same people that literally will step on their fucking backs to make sure that they will never get anywhere.
Yeah.
They will take their money. They will fucking screw them. They don't give a fuck about them.
The way the culture is like now, you don't even have to lie about that. They just appreciate that more. That's like when when everybody was like, "Oh, he hasn't paid taxes in years," and you remember in like 2016, he's like, "He hasn't paid any taxes." He's like, "That's just because I'm smart." And people used to be like, "You fucking billionaire, pay your fucking taxes, you piece of shit."
Yeah.
But instead, everybody was like, "Oh, I'm like him. I'm a future millionaire. I can be like him and not pay taxes too, and just shit on people."
I weird. Can be like him and have a third grade fucking mentality and fucking screw my daughter that looks like my wife. Oh, I don't have anything to do with Russia, even though I have 2 Russian mail order brides. No, not at all.
What country is she from? She's from Slovenia or something.
No,
did that used to be
Soviet bloc
USSR?
Country. Yeah, that's the USSR.
It's basically Russia.
Yeah.
It's basically Russia.
Here's the fucking best part.
I was friends with a Russian bride. She was fabulous, a mail order bride. I loved her.
Sure.
She taught me how to tango. She would have weird parties and force everyone to do vodka shots at the door, and then she would come in and like sing. Everybody had to sit down and like she would sing. She was a fabulous chanteuse, and she would sing in Russian and French and everything. And then she would like pass out instruments that everybody had to play. It was
Oh, that
crazy.
sounds amazing.
And then we'd go in and eat like weird hors d'oeuvres of like fish and pieces of meat and things on weird crackers and like tortillas. Like she came from an alien planet and had to figure out, it was like the time warp or something. It was like the hors d'oeuvres they're eating in Frankenfurter's castle. You know what I mean? With like crackers with pieces of like toothpaste and like a little bologna or something. And then you drink a shot of vodka and everybody says Nostrovia.
That's fucking amazing. It sounds like a lot of goddamn fun. To me, I think it sounds like fun. You know, the one that gets me the most is this whole fucking super fucking right, whatever the fuck, they come up with the term woke. And it's making fun of their own people because it's basically saying they're awake and you're fucking asleep.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like saying, oh, Antifa's bad. So being anti-fascist is bad. Since when? I remember my grandpa saying, fuck them Jerry's Nazi motherfuckers, ain't gonna happen here. And we're like, no, fuck you. You're supposed to be like that because being anti-fascist is bad. And being awake is bad. But being asleep and being complacent is exactly what we want. And they're like, yeah, fuck those awake people. We need to be asleep. Rise up and be asleep. I'm sorry. If that was me fucking storming the goddamn castle, shit would have fucking went down. Not no fucking, hey, we're going to parade around and be like, yeah, we're tough. We're going to sit your proper feet up. Fuck you. Burn the motherfucker down. If you're going to get in there, fucking get over it. Get on with it. Fuck you doing?
I was very incensed. At the same time as horrified and incensed as I was during January 6th, I was like, they're not going to do anything once they get in there. I mean, they might kill one or two people, but it's not going to be like the French Revolution. They're not going to have a guillotine because they're all fat and lazy. Look at them. Yeah. They're all old people. This is the best they could do. They got in there. They milled around like they're in the fucking Museum of Natural History. And then they're like, okay, everybody get out, except for a couple people who got themselves killed. Fucking idiots. Whatever. I'm just, we can't even fucking revolt properly. I mean, thank goodness, I guess. Thank goodness. But what was I going to say about that? No, that's always been the right's modus operandi is to take, whatever the word is and to repurpose it for their own thing and make it a bad word. Like liberal used to mean something and then they started using the word liberal all the time until it's just a slur and it doesn't mean whatever it means anymore. And the same with Antifa. And it's like, you were the side that supposedly hated communists and hated fascism and hated Nazis, with like Ronald Reagan and all that fucking gung-ho World War II bullshit. And, turn around and now you lick Putin's ass and you are fascists.
Yeah. Yeah. And quite frankly, don't get me wrong. I don't trust either side because I know it's all fucking puppet play. It's all puppet play.
Yep.
I do not trust. I will be the first to admit I do not trust. I do not like, and I do not care for any government whatsoever. Now, do I say, hey, we could rule ourselves? No, we can't because fucking look at us. We can't even protest on the same fucking line. That's why I'm going to start a fucking revolution and my people are going to fucking come and drag and in fucking top hats and circus performers. And we're all going to be carrying knives, billy clubs and fucking fuck the guns. Bring the fucking battle with these, motherfucker. You want to fight? Let's do it. Watch one of these fucking Proud Boys up against a 6 foot fucking 300-pound drag queen with fucking 12-inch heels. I guarantee you the motherfucker's going to run home to mommy.
Unless he goes for the heels first, because that's the weak spot. You go for the heels on a 300-pound drag queen, they're going over to the side. But, otherwise, we know who's going to win there.
Well, you already know how this goes. They show up, and it's the entrance. Then the heels come off because they know that it's fucking get down time. They're smarter than that.
The earrings come out, the fingernails come off, and
hold on, bitch. Hold on.
Yeah, don't fuck with that shit. I've seen some drag queens get down. This is some good shit.
I watched the drag queen knock out a football player one time. Knocked him out cold.
Yeah. Don't fuck with a motherfucker that, hey, if you got enough balls to fucking tape that shit up, throw on a fake pair of tits, put on makeup, and go out in fucking public, you best watch your fucking ass because they ain't no fucking pussy. That motherfucker's got fucking dedication. I would love to see one of these fucking Proud Boys say, yeah, I got enough balls. I'm going to go put on lipstick and walk out to the fucking corner store. Ain't going to fucking happen because he's a fucking pussy.
Well, yeah, and to be honest, they can run in heels. And
yeah, that's called fucking like some gazelle shit.
Yeah, that they run on their toes. It's
yeah,
they can do a freaking death drop. Forget about it.
Yeah, I mean they might as well be fucking Zen Buddhist fucking ninjas and shit.
Some of those little ones are like Yoda in episode 3. You know what I mean?
They're hopping around.
Yeah, floating on fucking air.
It's funny because I look at my kids, man. My kids are really like me. They don't, it's not about anything like that. I was like, never hate somebody because of their race. Never hate somebody because of their sexual orientation. Never hate him. Hate them on a one-on-one personal basis. I was like, if you're going to dislike somebody, dislike them because you dislike them as a person, not because
yeah. Hey, my motto's always been, I hate everybody communally until you prove me wrong. Then I like you. You got to earn my like. Until then, I hate you because you're breathing.
Taking up my air.
Yeah. Taking up my creative space.
Yeah,
I don't. It's funny.
They told me I was very judgmental once. They're like, I like you, Michael, but you're just really judgmental. And I was like, bitch, I only judge people based on how they treat me or how I see them treating other people.
Yeah. You act like a good human being, you get treated like one. You act like a fucking asshole, you're an asshole. Is that judgmental? Oh no. Who fucking cares? What the fuck does it mean to me? People are fucking barking dogs. What do you do with a barking dog that pisses you off? You fucking kick the motherfucker. You say, get the fuck away from me, motherfucker. I don't give a shit about you.
I don't do that, but I shame them. I say shame on you.
You can't shame somebody that doesn't even know that they're fucking a piece of shit.
See, that's just it. It's hard to shame somebody that has no shame.
They're them, and it will like surprise them because like usually no one has ever said that to them before. It'll shock people. It's like when a baby cries and you cry back at them and they stop crying and they look at you like that. It's kind of like that. It's like, shame on you. You do not behave like that. Does your grandmother know that you're doing that? That's horrible behavior for a human being. Shame on you. And they have to stop for a minute and they're like, shame on me. No one's ever said shame on me before. You should try it, really. I do it all the time. I live in North Carolina. I say, shame on you. What are you doing? You don't behave like that. How dare you? Shame on you. This is public shame. This is public shaming. This is what it feels like. There's a reason that we do it because human beings respond to it. But
it's anymore. See, I just talk circles around them so fast that they just get lost and they're like, I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at. And then fucking the conversation's over.
Bye. Or you say that. Say bye, bitch.
My favorite one was a bunch of years back. I worked at this one place, and the rumor got around to me that there was one woman there. She called me Bin Laden, or she called me the devil. And I'm like,
original bitch.
What? And I'm like, what the hell? And I was like, one day I'm sitting there, I'm like, you know what? It's about time I teach her a lesson. She's super religious, whatever. And I was like, so you think that I'm the devil? That I took time out of my busy schedule to get a job working in a factory in the middle of fuck all Ohio just to come in here and screw with you personally? And she just looked at me. I was like, I believe that is I believe that's a sin. And I started going around.
Yeah. What makes you so fucking special?
Yeah, I was like, what? No, I don't. I'm like, you know what? It gets back to me that, because she was definitely afraid of me. didn't want nothing to, and I'd done nothing to the woman but ever been nice to her. And that's what I even doubled down on that. So when she was freaking out, I started doubling down. I was nice to her. I did every once in a while, I was like, "Want a cup of coffee? You need something?" Started doing that shit to her. That made it even worse. That freaked her out even more.
Like Splenda?
So,
I think that's nice. I think it's nice to teach self-righteous religious people to start quoting the Bible at them.
That's always a good one.
That's terrible. It's like, I'm going to tell you why you're going to hell right now. I'm going to tell you. You got to do like that with an accent like that too. That's how it works best.
That is the best fucking part. I used to fucking talk circles around these motherfuckers that knock on your door. They don't do it anymore because people get shot now, but they would knock on the fucking door. They'd start quoting off their fucking little lighthouse fucking magazines or what the fuck ever. And I'd be like, what the fuck do you know about the fucking Bible? What do you know? Why would you assume because I look the way I do, I don't know shit about the Bible? I was like, I carried a fucking cross on my back as a kid, motherfucker. I already know. Swear to God.
I had a drummer who used to invite the Jehovah's Witnesses into the house. He would have them onto the. Can you hear me?
yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
He would have. I had to take my headphones out because they died. He would have the Jehovah's Witnesses into the house and then debate them, and they would lose.
Well, that's the best way to do it. Give them a taste of their own fucking medicine and then see how they fucking try to squirrel their way out of that.
Yeah, I went through that whole I don't know if anybody else did this. About junior high, maybe first year of high school, I was really trying to figure out where I belonged, trying to figure out who I was as a person and shit like that. And I started seeing some of my friends getting into religion, going to church and shit like that. So I was like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna start looking into this stuff. So I started reading and studying all these different religions. And then I realized I was like, well, I don't know why y'all hate each other. Because
It's all the same.
It's all the same. It's
all the same.
Yeah. And it started bugging me. And then I had people ask me now, I have people that are like, well, why are you an atheist? It was like, what made you an atheist? I was like, religion.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I want everyone to know, like, some people need religion. Some people need their spirituality.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
Yep.
The problem is when you think you're the only special fucking cucumber in the goddamn fucking salad. You're not. You are not. Everybody, look, the universe has already fucking spoken. Everybody is just as insignificant as everybody else. The only thing that makes you special is when you realize it. And then you fucking treat other people fucking with kindness. And you treat them with fucking respect.
Yeah.
That's what makes you unique. That's when you pull your inner self out and let that be a fucking a shining light for everybody else. That's what makes you unique. And if everyone did it, you wouldn't be unique anymore, but the world would be a fucking better place. Thing is, hey, practice what you want, but practice what you preach. And don't be pointing your fucking fingers at people, because guess what? Even Christianity itself, you are supposed to have your door open to everybody.
Yep.
You missed the fucking point, assholes. It is not a segregation. It is not my way or the highway. It is fucking love. Love is the only fucking thing that is communally across the fucking board until some jack off who rewrote something, changed it. I mean, people are like, well, do you like the Old Testament or the King James Version? I was like, well, the Old Testament is close enough, but the fucking King James Version is exactly what it says. King James Version.
Yep.
Why do you think he had it written? It doesn't say, where's Jesus Christ Bible? Where's his version? He wasn't illiterate, was he? I know he was a carpenter and all this shit. And then, the fucking super white dude with the fucking Hessian hair, fucking, no.
Like, as I've said, the biggest miracle in the Bible is a guy's named Luke, Paul, Matthew in the Middle East.
Right. Right. It's like, where did these fucking clowns come from? They picked him up in fucking Alabama and dropped him off in fucking Galilee, and they're like, "Hey, here you go."
I
Nobody.
know all those guys.
All this guy-
They're hanging
Yeah.
out down at the corner.
Yeah, it's fucking Hanson.
Hey, Mark,
No.
Luke, John, where's Paul?
Paul is dead. He died in a car wreck. And the
Where's
real
he?
Paul.
I miss him.
This Paul almost died of alcohol poisoning. But beside the point.
Did you ever hear that fucking whole thing with Paul McCartney? The
Yeah.
whole like rumor. Yeah, Jesus
We
Christ.
spent 2 weeks on it in eighth grade music class. It was great. 2
That sounds
weeks
like a
on the
lot of
Paul
fun.
McCartney death hoax.
That's crazy.
It was really
Sounds like a
cool.
fun class.
See, you got that. I think in 8th grade I had a teacher, my music teacher, I remember was massively fascinated by Stevie Wonder. That was her be all end all anything with
That's
music with
cool.
Stevie
I
Wonder.
mean, Stevie was great, but at the time, what was he putting out? I just called to say I love you.
Yeah, because this was
Yeah.
86-ish, maybe thereabouts.
Yeah, it was kind of the end of the line as far
Yeah.
as his creative output went.
But Superstition, that album was fucking fantastic.
That is a
It's
killer
very
album.
good. He had a string of incredible albums.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I've got it. It's
Hey,
over here in the
Do you know? Did your teacher ever see his fucking piano in person?
I don't know. I just knew.
It's okay. He hasn't either.
Yeah.
Sorry, I couldn't help myself.
My favorite one was oh God, I can't remember what movie it is. It's hysterical blindness. He goes, he's blind. He goes, so it's like when Ray Charles walked in on Stevie Wonder masturbating and he both went blind.
Hey, there would be a house you could get away with anything.
But she was one of the ones she'd see him anytime he came around the area. She'd travel around to go see him and was fascinated by everything because I guess he would walk out to the edge of the stage and he knew how to, because they'd count out the steps for him and show him, show him.
Singer!
Say it. Like, remember, it's 11 steps. 1, 2, 3. Oh, my bad. It was only 10.
That's what a roadie does when he gets smitten. Fuck. I wish I could have seen Otis Redding or James Brown before they went. That would have been nice.
Man. I got to see George Clinton in Parliament Funkadelic a few years ago. And it's one I always wanted to see. And it's funny because everybody's like, really? You want to see? I was like, yeah, I want to see fucking Parliament Funkadelic. Goddamn. Legitimately, me and my buddy Bone were I think, might have been one of only 4 white guys that were at this concert. And
Weird.
and it was, but the bad part about it was it's getting towards George Clinton really only comes out every once in a while on stage. So they'd be performing, he'd disappear. And they'd do a whole couple songs, and then they would do like Flashlight. He'd come out and he'd sit down on stage and they'd do the whole thing, and then he'd get up and he'd walk back, and then they'd do like another song, and then he'd come back out. So it was more Parliament Funkadelic with George Clinton instead of George Clinton with Parliament Funkadelic.
Right. Fucking, I think Funkadelic, I think it was pre-George, the fucking album Maggot Brain.
Yes.
Fucking amazing album.
That's my favorite one, I think.
It is the best fucking album. It's right up there with fucking Goddamn Wars, fucking The World is a Ghetto. Those two albums side by side could have been the same fucking like band. It was so fucking fantastic.
There's something about the Maggot Brain production that really vibes with me, and I think it's a lot of
Me
that.
too.
They use a lot of room sound. There's a lot of room mics going on that
Yeah.
record, and I don't know if it's just because it's an earlier record and they had like a more stripped down setup or whatever, less tracks, something like that.
Acid.
But that record
Lots of
sounds
acid.
good, and like towards the middle of the 70s, everything's getting a little bit more produced.
Yeah,
And it gets, I mean, it's still good, but it doesn't really have the same feel. It's the same way with Zappa. Very similar.
Yeah.
Like if you listen to, We're Only in It for the Money, or one of those from around that kind of 68, 69. And then a few years later in the 70s, like the stuff in the 70s is great, but it just doesn't really sound quite as good.
No, like,
don't even get me started about the remasters that he did in the 1980s that sound like garbage. I think he went fucking crazy. Tipper Gore put something in his drink or something, because those albums that he remastered are garbage sounding.
Yeah. Chonga's
All those first CDs that came out were like trash before he died.
Yeah. Chonga's Revenge, Weasel's Ripping at My Flesh. Those were some fucking albums right there.
Mm.
I got to see, I've never seen Frank Zappa, but I went and seen, my son and I went and seen King Crimson a couple years ago.
Oh, I bet that was good.
It was a great show. They did Hall of the Crimson King in its entirety.
Nice.
Boom.
I bet that was fucking good.
Oh man, and it's they come out, they have their setup. They do not talk between songs. They'll pause for like a couple seconds and then goes right into the next song. And it was funny because they come out and they're like, please don't take any pictures, blah blah blah. After this point, and then these little signs come up on the sides. Everybody put their phones down. It was amazing. And then he goes, okay. And then they're like, now you can take pictures. So they took pictures and everything at the end. But the Zappa band was the opening band. It was another band than the Zappa band. And it was Frank Zappa's band that he had, throughout the and it was great because they played, they killed it. And it was funny because they even go, you guys aren't here for us. You're here for King Crimson. And then the crowd was like, no, you're great. Yeah. And he's like, sure? And they're like, yeah. And okay, we'll keep playing. We got 2 more songs. Okay.
That's fucking great, man. That's a good lineup too. I have my trifecta that I've seen all 3 now. Was Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds, Tom Waits, and Leonard Cohen. And I've seen all 3, and I'll tell you, it's really hard to say one was better than the other, because I do have to say, Nick Cave, I saw him in San Diego, seen him in Portland, I've seen him a couple times, and he literally walked out on the crowd like it was like he was walking on water, just walked.
Everybody put their hands up and walked him out.
Like, the way that they held him, his balance was perfect. He walked out there, and the way that he built that shit with fucking, god damn, it was amazing. Tom Waits blew my fucking mind. Saw him in Texas on the fucking Dust and Glitter fucking tour. But I have to say, out of all of them, the oldest one of them all, Leonard Cohen, came out and played for 3 hours straight, did not take a fucking break, was dropping down to his knees the whole fuck. I was like, how the fuck? If I dropped down to my knees like that, I'd throw my fucking back out and blow out a hip.
He had stamina.
Yeah.
It was from all his Buddhist training.
No shit. He was totally in some fucking like zone. And I mean, he just nailed it. Nailed it fucking 100%. They all did, but like each one of them had a very particular, unique presence. And I miss going to shows.
Did you ever watch those old videos of Nick Cave with the birthday party? The few existing live shows that they have. I love it when he's, he looks a wreck. His hair is like enormous, like this big, and he's fighting with people in the audience. They're trying to steal his mic cord away, and he's like hitting them with the stick, with the drumstick that he uses to hit the snare drum, and like he'll just like be singing this, doing his fucking heroin drunken thing, and then finally he's like, all right, you got the drumstick, you win. Stealing things from him.
The good shit. Nobody's got it like they used to.
No.
Oh well.
It's bad is that I went through a point, and now if I want to go see a show or a concert, man, I go. I skipped out on too many shows that I wanted to go see, and some of them I'll never get to see because the band, people died, bands don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
Like, not going to do it. I want to go see a band. I go do it.
I have not seen a show in close to 12 years, except for my kid. I would go see him. He opened up for the Dead Boys, or whatever's left of the Dead Boys.
Cool.
Yeah. So, I go fucking see that. I take my old man with me, and fucking so there's a whole family to do. And, he gets out there because he'll play his guitar behind his fucking head and rip it around and start playing up front and, sliding across the stage and all this shit. And it was great. And then of course, the singer from the Vibrators was like trying to manage their band or whatever, which was great because, here's guys that I listened to when I was a kid, fucking, playing with my kid. And I was like, that's fucking cool. And saw Cheetah Chrome up there. And I was like, God damn it. It took everything in my power not to go up. Hey, you remember shooting dope in that bathroom at the fucking Blue Ox in Phoenix years ago after the Stooges show? He's all old now. Nobody wants to hear about shooting dope in the bathroom with some fucking jack off. You know what I mean? The good old days.
The good old days.
Where drugs were still sort of safe.
They just released, Paul, they just released that movie about King Crimson. Did you see it?
No, not yet. I am behind on my video watching, unfortunately.
I don't remember what it's called.
I'll have to look it up. Well, it was fun because we were watching. Brent was doing all those videos during the pandemic and stuff with his wife, and he was just playing all these different songs, and people were freaking out because he played Korn and stuff like that, and they're like, whatever, I'll play whatever I want to play because I'll do what I want. You know who I am, right? So, and one of the funniest things about going to seeing King Crimson was because so many kids have discovered King Crimson now because of the anime JoJo's Bizarre Adventures. And I go to this concert, and it's literally old hippies and anime fans.
Holy shit.
And the thing is, I got into King Crimson, I want to say in junior high, because we used it for when we played D&D. That was like perfect Dungeons and Dragons music, man. We played the shit out of that back in the day. And I kind of just, I couldn't say I got out of them, but I just didn't really, listen. And then all of a sudden, man, my son's getting into them like, you know what? I ain't listened to that in forever. So I go over and I bust out my albums. I'm listening to it. I'm like, yeah, this is what I want to listen to right now.
I gotta say, the best use of King Crimson song in a movie was Buffalo 66 in the bowling alley where Christina Ricci, the lights go off, the spotlight's on her, and it's the Moonchild song, and she starts fucking tap dancing. And I'm talking Christina Ricci back when, she still looked good and doesn't look anorexic, where she wasn't Wednesday, but she filled out good. And fucking she's dancing around, and Vincent Gallo's watching her. Fucking amazing.
Although, I'm not going to lie, I love her because, we were talking about watching romantic comedies and stuff with your significant other.
Yeah.
Me and my wife were really into Yellow Jackets. So we were watching that movie, the TV series about the girls that were cannibals. And that's where it gets us there. But she's great in that show. She's great.
I have not seen it yet. I haven't seen a lot of things, so I guess
it's one of the ones where all of a sudden I'm like, man, I kept hearing good things about it. And one day I'm just like, me and her were sitting down here, and I was like, hey, you want to watch Yellow Jackets, try it out? Sure. So we watched the first episode, and then we watched the second episode, and then I think we watched the third episode. I'm like, damn it, I like the show now. So then we watched it a little bit at a time, so we didn't watch it all. And then the second season hit. We watched the second season as it aired, and now we're technically all caught up. But man, it's pretty good because I want to say it gets into the I think it's going to go towards the Wendigo mythos of being, that whole cannibalism thing. I don't know yet because it's still. I mean, it's 2 seasons in, but they're still trickling things in, and it's fun.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
They're gonna jump the shark one day,
Oh fuck.
and it's gonna go from being alive to being fucking Pet Cemetery.
yeah, they bury the girls. Oh my god! I remember seeing it live in the theater, and I stood up and I was like, "The first person that says tastes like chicken, I'm out of here." I think I was like a junior in high school when that came out. Love
I
it.
remember taking my kid when he was like, God, how old was he? He was like 7 or 8. And I took him to go see fucking Devil's Rejects at the theater. Fucking everybody was looking at us like, what the fuck are you doing? I was like, why ain't your kids here? I mean, this is a fucking horror movie. It's made for kids, sort of.
Terry
like
from Three's Company's in that, isn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My parents knew her. We knew her because my dad's friend went out with her years ago in the 80s.
Wow.
She still looked good after all these years, too.
Yeah.
Went out with Mimi Rogers, too. He went out with Mimi Rogers.
Shut the
And
fuck
she was
up.
like, have you ever read Dianetics? And then she married Tom Cruise. And then he went out with Terry from Three's Company. And I was like, oh my God, that's Terry from Three's Company.
That's fucking amazing.
Which we watched all the time because there was only 9 shows on TV in the 80s.
Fucking Mimi Rogers, dude. That one. God damn. Lucky bastard.
She was beautiful. She was fabulous. I met her.
Oh, yeah.
She had like awesome boots. And I was obsessed with them because, like, Wonder Woman wears boots and Mimi Rogers wore boots.
Yeah.
So there you go.
I have a thing for a woman in a nice pair of boots.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that at all.
No.
Yeah.
Especially the knee-high ones where you have to lace them up. It's like, I have I have a bunch of kinks. Jesus Christ, I got way too many. But lacing up the boots.
Victorian.
And then unlacing. Like, I could just do that all day.
They're witch boots.
Yeah. I fucking
You
love it.
like those Victorian witch boots?
Oh, yeah. Those pointy toes. A lot of fun with those.
That's
Good
what
time.
sucks, man. When me and my wife got together, she used to love wearing boots. And as she gets older, she's like, I don't want to wear boots all the time. I'm like, oh, you suck.
God,
I don't want to wear shoes. I don't want to wear clothes anymore.
I'm not even wearing pants right now.
Right. Makeup is enough. I have like these just like skirts, like those Japanese samurai pants.
Right? Yeah.
That's all I wear. They're very comfortable.
I get home, I have these like pants made in Naples or some bullshit where, it's all hand woven fucking, just like made out of weird linens or something. And it just fucking, that's my
Nice.
daily wear.
It's nice. I'll show you my Naples.
Oh, I'm sure you will. And I'm sure they're cute as a button.
Cute as a button. Couple of buttons.
2 little buttons.
Yeah.
I am so basic compared. I am as bad as basic compared to you guys. Legitimately, I have my gym pants, my pajama pants, and my jeans. It's the only 3 things.
Do you wear
need to
jeans in
live
the
a
summertime?
I don't wear
I used
shorts.
to do that. I can't do it anymore. It's awful.
I hate shorts. I don't know why.
Okay.
Do you have funny
I will
legs?
agree with that.
No, I don't think so. But I mean, matter of fact,
I don't wear shorts either. And if I leave the house, oh no, it's on. I got my fucking boots on. I got my fucking knee-high socks on. I got my fucking, canvas fucking pants on, fucking my leather vest, the whole fucking 9, because I'm like, hell no, I walk out there, I need my fucking armor.
Yeah, I can't do that. And I can't do that in the South. It's too damn hot. I can't
Yeah.
wear pants anymore.
I lived in Arizona. I dressed like that. I guess I have wore boots for so long that from
Sweaty
basically
legs.
my knees down, I can't grow hair anymore.
Yeah,
It is bald. It's smooth as a baby's ass.
yeah,
yeah.
crazy.
See, I am. I'm a fan of the Joey Ramone fashion statement. Leather jackets, jeans, and t-shirts never go out
No
of
chin.
style. What? No chin.
Hey, I got my leather jacket too, man. I fucking wouldn't give it up for the life of me. But when I come home, I put on my fucking my flowy pants, and I got a big fucking black and red hooded robe that goes down to the ground. I just fucking wear that all fucking year long.
Yes. You walk around like, hold me tap, hold me tap,
Oh,
Absolutely.
hold me tap.
ah, ah.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
my.
you gotta have. See, you got a little fancy in you. You got a fucking robe.
I got a robe. Yep.
Don't be trying to lie, act all tough over here, and then you bust out the robe. I'm not stupid.
No, I get that. Oh man, that's my. I'm not gonna lie. I started using robes because we had a house that the heat sucked in the wintertime. And in Ohio, it gets really cold. And
Oh, yes.
I'd be sitting there in my robe, all bundled up, like, all right, we're good. We're good. I'm warm. All right.
Yeah, well, once you move into the robe, there's no moving out of the robe. I don't care if it's fucking hot. I'm still wearing the fucking robe.
No, it's.
I went on a tour through Ohio in January, and it was a horrible idea.
Yep.
It was incredibly cold. I'd never felt such cold.
Yeah, it's
And I guess it gets colder other places on the planet, but I can't imagine how.
Yeah. I had friends that lived in Minnesota, and I had friends that lived in Buffalo. And you're just like, why would you live there? Because it's cold 9 months out of the year, and
Yeah, I prefer the cold. I don't know. Like, I moved into this house and had like heat on command. I didn't have to start the fireplace. And I've been living like a gluttonous fucking pig ever since. I'm like, I got a fucking fridge. I've got a toilet that flushes. The heat comes on. And my kid's like, it's cold in here. I was like, bullshit, it is. And he was like, what do you got it set to? I was like, 55. How hot do you need it? He was all, what the fuck? 55 is cold as hell. I was like, no, I would never even kick on the fireplace until it got down to freezing at 32. I was like, okay, now it's time to turn on some heat, you know? But, you know, and now it's fucking summer or coming up on summer and it's like 85 degrees. And he was like, God, it's fucking hot. I'm sweating balls. I was like, why? What the fuck's wrong with you? And I have to remember that when you're used to these fucking commodities, your body gets used to it. When you put yourself in a situation where you just live with nature, your body gets used to it. You're just like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's totally fine.
That's very true. But I think you also enjoy pain.
Maybe. Just a little,
discomfort.
a tiny bit.
A little bit.
I still don't understand how I had a kid after all my experiences with pointy boots on chicks. You know, I don't get it.
So
it still worked after all that.
I have a question. You guys can. I heard the theory that all your fetishes are pretty much set by the time you're 14. Do you think that's correct?
No. I will say, I think some of my sickest ones were set in by 14. And then I just been gathering more and more as I get older.
It's snowballing. Just keep
now, basically, I don't fuck animals and I don't touch kids. Everything else is on the plate. I don't give a fuck. Oh, and don't shit on me. Maybe. I'm starting to wane on that one, but don't shit on me. That's weird. If it's
I'll shit on you.
It's okay.
Don't shit on me. Don't shit on us. We'll shit on you.
Yes.
I think I think you can set the groundwork by the time you're 14.
Absolutely.
But, but you can develop more. You can work on it. You know what I mean? You can add to it over time.
Yeah, definitely.
You gotta spice things up a little bit.
I can tell where all my shit started. And yes, most of them started before I was 14. And then I kind of had a spot where there really wasn't nothing added. And then there's more added later, and you're like, oh, okay, that's definitely not true. So
yeah, like I don't have a particular. Well, no, I do have a particular type. As long as the eyes are what does it. I don't know. I am not as violent as I once was. So my sex is a lot safer for everybody else. And I'm not into self-mutilation as much as I used to be. So fucking, it kind of evens out. But don't get me wrong, I'm still a sadistic fuck. Nothing, you know what gets me off more than anything? Fear. True fear. I want the shake and the stutter and the fucking, why are you doing this? It's it's asked for, but like when you get them to that point, fucking beautiful. So I
This
get
is
silent.
me.
Come on,
This is me
motherfucker,
not
don't leave
slut
me hanging.
shaming. I'm not perv shaming right now. Kink shaming. That's what they call it.
Kink
This is me
shaming,
not
yeah.
kink shaming.
Are you going to shame me? Are you going to shame me right now?
Not in public.
Okay. I guess I'll just have it coming when I come meet you.
That's right. That's right. I'll tell you. Right after I'm abducted, before the tape goes on my mouth, I'll tell you. I'll give you a laundry list.
It's okay. It's okay. Go ahead, shame me. Oh, look at you.
I have one. Excuse me, 1 second. I just want to say something.
Shame on you.
Shame on you.
I'll be like,
what are you doing? Stop it! Did you ever see that? What was that Bob Newhart joke? I think he did it on Saturday Night Live when he was on Saturday Night Live like 10 or 15 years ago. When he's a psychiatrist, he's doing his Bob Newhart thing, as a psychiatrist, and he's like, oh, doctor, every time I go out in public, I get so nervous and I just fall apart and I have to drink something. And he's like, oh, you don't want to be drinking anymore? Is that what you're saying your problem is? It's like, yeah, I drink too much in social situations and I get drunk and I make a fool of myself. And Bob Newhart says, stop it! That's the whole joke. He's like, you don't want to be doing that anymore? Stop it! It's a good one. Classic.
It's words of wisdom.
Yes.
Yeah. And it has more than a grain of truth to it. There's a whole arm, there's a whole wing of psychiatry that tends towards that. Just don't do it. You know what? You don't have to do that. Don't do that. Modify your behavior, and then we'll work on the rest. How about that?
Yeah.
People don't like that because it takes a little work. It's difficult.
I've modified my behavior, and now like all my kinky shit's pretty mellow. I like to cuddle now.
Aw, that's nice.
Isn't that nice?
I don't want to have anything to do with anybody.
Whatever. I'm actually a big baby. I cry a lot and everything.
Yeah. Yeah. We all do. I told you I cry at the Fruity Pebbles commercial.
I could see
Christmas Fruity Pebbles.
Oh, fuck.
Thank God they don't put it on anymore.
The cheesy fucking...
I've seen it last year, I think.
Did you really? I didn't see it.
Pretty sure I saw it last year. Because it's the one where Barney and Fred and Santa Claus.
And Santa Claus, yeah. 'Tis the season to be sharing, Fred. Happy Christmas, pal. Oh, yeah. Fred. Makes me cry. I'm glad
that cheesy ass fucking Christmas greeting that I put out a couple of years ago. I swear to God, I can't even watch the motherfucker. I start crying. I'm like, what the fuck? Why am I crying at my own shit?
Yeah.
But then again,
we were sitting at a convention about a year or so back, and I was like, man, you know what sucks about getting older? He goes, oh, you're paying your body. He's like, nah, fucking getting emotional about shit now. I was like,
yeah.
I used to be kind of a hard ass, man. And then now it's like, no, I'm good.
I realized what it was. The other day. I was listening to somebody and, they didn't understand why, I would get so emotional or nostalgic over like stupid shit, like a movement or a way somebody says something. And the only way I could describe it was you haven't compiled the memories yet. you have memories. They're still building, but once they start repeating and they start compiling and they start morphing, everything reminds you of something. And it's hard not to look at something that you either lost or loved or had or wanted. And it becomes overwhelming. And it's when we take off that shell of fucking, the masculine, whatever. Like, don't get me wrong. I still walk around looking like an asshole, whatever. But it's because I'm genuinely an asshole. It's just it comes with the territory. But in reality, I'm a very feeling person, emotional person. So it's like when I see things that trigger, dude, I don't give a fuck. You ever see me crying in a fucking bar? Do not say jack shit about it, because I will go from crying to fucking pounding on somebody in fucking 5 seconds. But anyone who ever tells their boys when they're young, don't you fucking cry, a man doesn't cry, is the biggest load of shit I've ever heard in my life. A man that knows how to cry is a man that understands himself, and therefore he's more fucking dangerous than any fucking machismo jack-off out there.
See, I think that's one of the things that fucked me up as a kid. I was one of the ones where he's like, oh, you get something to cry about, man,
Yeah.
And and I wasn't one of them guys. I hid everything. And then that caused, other shit that came around later, caused problems with me and my wife early on. And then, I started being more open and kind of getting away from that shit. And now I'm, I don't care what people think about me.
Now you're a normal person.
Well, hey, it's not even normal anymore.
No.
That's the fucked up thing. We're fucking, we become, I don't know, like human beings. Like fucking, we go from this, I don't know what the fuck I am, or I think I do, and I'm going to stand to I'm so glad I got away from this whole thing where it's like, you find your niche, you feel like you're comfortable, and you're like, this is who I am for the rest of my life. This is how I will be. And I never realized how ignorant and unknowledgeable and fucking naive that was.
Oh, yeah.
If you can't grow and you can't change and you can't see where you were wrong or where you are wrong, and you can't fucking fix your own fucking thoughts and fucking emotions and feelings and fucking work on yourself, then you have already given up and you are a fucking lost cause.
Me and my wife had this discussion like 2 days ago, because I do this show and stuff like that, and people really kind of open up to me and talk to me. And now I go to conventions and stuff, and people will talk to me, and they're like, she goes, you're a genuine person. You care and you listen to people, that if they have issues, if they have problems, if they want to talk, they'll come to you. And I go, I don't know why, but they're like, but you do a good job at basically, what did she say? Kind of telling people that, things will be all right. I don't know. It's not really quite that way, but she worded it better.
Yeah.
And
women do that sometimes.
Yeah. And my wife has made me a hell of a lot better person than I would have been without her. And I'm a very open, loving father, stuff like that. Like I had somebody ask me the other day, because I'm my adult son. I had him in a headlock, and I go up, I put my arm around him, I went, "Love you, bud." Kissed him on his head when did his thing, and everybody's like, "What?" I was like, "What? Why did you do that?" I was like, "I love my son." Yeah. I was like, what's the problem? I was like, I legitimately, when my oldest son comes over, my adopted son is 31. He's 6 foot something. He's a lot bigger than me. I will still, when he leaves, I give him a hug, I grab him, kiss him on his head, and he leaves. All my kids, I don't care, from my 12-year-old to my 31-year-old, and people just, I'm like, do you not show any?
Yeah,
that's where your kids fucked up. That's where your kids
right there. That right there. That missing out of our society is precisely what makes America so fucked up. Every other country,
that's the whole that is toxic masculinity.
it is.
And it's at its heart, and the fact that there's people who aren't men who aren't damaged in that way, but are still so accustomed to that norm that's set up of men not showing any kind of emotion or affection for each other, and that they would respond strangely. You know, that's damaging.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's fucked up, and it's weird, and it's one of those American things, and it goes hand in hand, I think, with our prudery and our, you know, like, and all of that religious shit. And, you know, we came from Puritans, and we're all weird about sex and stuff like that. And it fucks us up, and it makes our preachers into kid touchers. Do you know what I mean?
It's
or
true.
It makes our men, our fathers, into abusers and things like that.
Yeah.
Instead of being able to cry and express their feelings or their love or whatever.
Yeah.
It's fucked up. I watch these people. I work with a lot of Filipino and Vietnamese, and I have a lot of fucking respect. Or growing up in Arizona, seeing the Mexicans, you see these fucking families, like they're families. They hold together. Like nobody's going to go homeless. Nobody's going to go hungry.
Nope.
America, we just say, figure it out on yourself, boy. Fuck you. I gave you everything you need. Now get the fuck out. And I was kind of like that for a while too. But the thing is I couldn't stick with that fucking narrative because it's a bunch of bullshit. You do want to push in the right direction. Sometimes you got to be a little tough about it. But the thing is if there's no love behind it, it means nothing. All you're doing is creating a serial killer. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You're creating an abuser. You're creating a fucking horrible human being. Without love, we really are nothing. And everybody, you know, you see these other cultures. That's why they look at America. They're like, what the fuck is wrong with you people? We're like, yeah, we're bad. We're tough. We're fucking mean. We'll fuck kick your ass. Great. We'll take care of our family. We'll fucking go hungry so our fucking children, our grandparents, our fucking aunts, uncles, nephews, fucking nieces will have something to eat. Our fucking neighbors, our family. We fucking pull together. So when our government fucking comes at us, we're not divided. We all pull together, pick up our fucking rakes and shovels, and we go change the fucking problem. So take us without the fucking clue, and then put tyranny above us. We ain't taking out nobody because we can't even fucking respect each other. We're too busy tearing each other down from the inside. When they say blood is thicker than water, bullshit, not in America. Not in fucking America. Only in my fucking family right here that I created. The rest of them are all fucking motherfuckers. And that's fucking sad. Anyway, how long is this fucking shindig gonna go on?
I don't know, man. I was just gonna say I gotta probably have to get ready to shut her down for tonight because we've gone for almost 2.5 hours.
Well, fuck, stop talking so much, and we wouldn't be fucking here already.
Oh shit. Well, guys, this has been fun. This has been an experience into itself. And we're gonna have to do this again. Well, actually, we're gonna have to go one of these days somewhere. We're gonna have to meet in like Kansas, like in the middle.
You picked fucking Kansas? Hold on, you picked fucking Kansas of all places?
No, I don't know.
What the fuck is in Kansas?
I'm never going to
I'll think
Kansas
it's not
again.
a goddamn thing.
Okay, communally, it's 2 against 1. We ain't going to fucking Kansas.
No. I'm just saying is okay.
Hey,
I'm
what
in
about
Ohio.
Mask Fest? You should come down to Indiana for Mask Fest.
Indiana?
Yeah, that's not too far, right?
No, shit. I can be. Where's that in Indy?
It's in Indianapolis.
Oh, it's almost 2 hours from my door to door.
There you go, at the convention center. Come down and see the masks. And then they have the whole all of Horror Hound.
When is that happening?
During Horror Hound?
It's during Horror Hound. We have our own room, so it's just the mask guys like across the hall or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's August 18th, 19th, and 20th, I think.
Yeah.
It's that weekend.
Because I'm probably going to be there. It's planned, hopefully.
Great. Come on down and find me.
Yeah. And then, because I was just at Horror Hound earlier this year, and I was at Horror Hound last year twice, and that was when it was still in Ohio. and that's moved back to Indiana. So try it out in Indiana. So
I have never been to a horror convention.
I used to go all the times when I was a kid because we would make low budget horror movies that they would release them if we put like boobs or foot fetish content in them. So we would go and work the conventions at Chiller at the in New Jersey at the old Chiller conventions in the 90s.
Nice.
And Savini would be there. I met Linda Blair and Dee Snider and James Hong, and a lot of cool people.
That's fucking cool.
Conventions are fun. I don't now when I do it, I don't bother trying to meet Elvira or anything because it's just like I'm just one more schmuck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like she's not going to be my best friend.
We went to Horror
I
House
wish she would be mine.
about 10 years ago, and she was there, but she was signing, and she was Cassandra Peterson, and I'm just standing there, and I'm like, I don't want to, and Tina, my wife's like, well, why not? She was in line to go get an autograph. I'm like, I don't want, and she goes, why? I was like, I want to meet Elvira. I don't want to meet Cassandra.
But even Elvira's not really Elvira.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard to keep it up all the time. As some of us can tell you.
Yes.
I think she is fucking hot as shit as Cassandra Peterson.
She's beautiful.
I have her nudes saved in my phone even. I mean, I wish
that in the late 80s, early 90s she had done that movie with Dolly Parton.
Oh yeah, the one
where they play Good Witch, Bad Witch.
Yeah.
Well, one of the best things is that my wife met Elvira. I got to meet Pam Grier, and that was the big one for me. I'm like, I get to meet Foxy Brown, and I go up there. I got her book. I got her sign her book, and I was like, because this is back before everybody had to pay to get a picture taken at your booth or whatever. And I was like, can I get a picture real quick? She's, oh yeah. And then my wife takes her picture, and my wife goes, can I get a picture? She goes, I didn't buy anything. And she's like, honey, get your ass on up here and get a picture.
Oh, fucking nice.
So, oh my God. And it was funny because I got my picture with Pam Grier, and that was one of my big ones because, like I said, I want to say Foxy Brown was like my second or third, probably my third or fourth crush when I was a kid. And I was like, man, that's still there.
The first time I saw her was in a fucking movie where it was a bunch of chicks in prison. It was fucking amazing.
The big bird cage.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Oh, goddamn. I got to see Pam and her friends, and it was great.
Oh, yeah. I think if I dig through my albums, I know I have the Foxy Brown soundtrack.
Oh, that's a good fucking soundtrack.
It is. I also got it up there with Cleopatra Jones. I got Superfly and Shaft. I have all those soundtracks.
All greats. That's funky down sex music right there. If I've ever heard
is
it.
Right. That is God. I'm sitting here trying to go through my vinyl, and I have the weirdest collection of shit. I have everything from heavy metal to Link Ray to King Crimson, to Led Zeppelin, to Queen, to soundtracks. So I have these like big score soundtracks and shit. So
fucking good record collection is always amazing. So my friends, I am personally going to say goodnight to you. It was great.
Say goodnight. So
Paulie, thank you for having me on. And fucking Mikey, always a fucking pleasure hanging out with you two, brother.
Yep.
And maybe I'll see you guys in fucking Indianapolis.
We're gonna go for it. We're gonna try for it. Take care, Mikey. Take care, Doctor. And
all right, be good, guys.
Later.
All right, have a good night, guys.
Night. See you.
All right, good night.